Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Sorry for the false start this morning. We had a small technology issue, but it is a Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio, and a very, very busy Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
I figure if the Ravens offensive line can get away with it, why can't we?
With false starts, that's what you're saying. I actually, because of where we went to dinner, I actually ended up seeing like a little tiny bit of the game.
It's like that's your job.
No, it's certainly not my job to watch preseason NFL. What did I see? I saw my son was very invested in the game. Like he was pretending.
He's a Clark.
He was pretending like it mattered. It was adorable. Because it's like it's still real to me, damn it, situation. So, like when the punt return, or was it a kickoff return? What was it for Webster? Punt return. He was freaking out, man. Dad.
Well, I mean, as he should be.
So
the Ravens
funny,
haven't had a
man.
punt returner in 4 years.
Something like that. But yeah, the Ravens played a game last night. We'll let Griffin do his full breakdown of. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about 3 things that happened in it. A lot to do on the program
we were doing
today.
Our 10 plays that told the story.
No, we are
the special preseason edition.
Did they end up winning or not?
They did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
told
them.
everyone about the 6.5.
Good for that's right. You were you found that to be
Before I said, actually, I don't know.
yeah, that's all right. You did say that.
I
You
did
gave up
waffle.
on
I
it,
did
right?
waffle.
You did waffle a bit. That is true. I do remember that now. Coming up on the program today, Orioles ace Trevor Rogers is scheduled to join us, and yes, I'm confident in saying those words. Orioles ace Trevor Rogers joins the program today. Also, newly acquired Orioles prospect Anthony Nunez, who is interesting. He, of course, was converted from being was he a third baseman?
I believe so. Yeah, an infielder.
To a pitcher, and we're going to talk to him about that and about coming over and all that stuff. Also, Jake Butt, Big Ten Network, former Michigan and NFL tight end, will join us after he was in College Park this week, and scheduled to be joined in studio by our buddy AJ Francis and Moose from TNA. Don't know how I feel about it. AJ kicked Casey Navarro out of first class last night. Not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, I'm excited to hear him plead his case.
Make his argument.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he's got a good reason.
He's gonna say he's hurt, but like, hey man, guys get hurt. Like this is the way it works. So yeah, all that coming up on the program today. Do you by the way, this is for when we switch to a 1 hour show. You don't need it now, but you should definitely find the video of AJ's dive off the ladder from Slammiversary if you can. All right, so look, you guys know you can't get me to care about preseason. That said, Bilal Kone was one of the best guests we had all year on the show. His story, incredibly inspiring, what he's playing for, what he's been through with his family, and how he's lifting up his late brother, and that part was heartbreaking. That's the only thing, as I say constantly, there's one thing that matters at this point of the year. It's, does anybody get hurt? And while it's easy to say, hey, Bilal Kone might not have been a major part of the equation for the Baltimore Ravens this season, certainly someone that they drafted that was in line to make the roster. What his impact would have been, I don't know. And your heart breaks for that young man from both standpoints. On a human level, a football level, it's very difficult when you're like trying to live your dream. This is the moment. You're getting there. And this is the first thing that happens. And for some guys, they never overcome this. I hope that's not the case for Bilal Kone. I hope that he has a long career in the NFL, and this is just a blip on the radar. Obviously, if you saw the other angle, it looked awful.
Yeah, it was bad.
Awful. Just awful. So thoughts with Bilal Kone, and hopefully he comes back from that next year and becomes an impact player for the Baltimore Ravens. Certainly a guy that will be easy to root for. If you don't know his story, I would encourage you to go back and listen to the interview that we did with him after he was drafted. It is incredibly inspiring. So Tyler Loop missed one kick, correct?
Correct, yes. 46-yarder.
And John Harbaugh said that he stubbed his toe, and that was the reason for him missing it, which, you know, like you can say, oh, okay, but also, like, that can't happen because if that happens in a real game, then you're going to miss the kick. So it's like one of those awkward things where it can be an explanation, but it's not an excuse. Did he make any kicks as well? Did somebody tell me that?
Yeah, then he made a 52-yarder.
Made a 52-yarder after that. So,
yes.
yeah, no,
that looked like it would have been good from maybe 70. Like, he nailed it.
You hope that's his story. You hope that's the case. But, again, you can't get me to overreact to anything. Neat that LaJohntay Webster ran back a punt for a touchdown. What does it mean? I have no idea.
It means our punt return issues are solved.
You have to remember this is the preseason. You have to remember that. You hope that it's a sign that he's an explosive playmaker, but that is not a guarantee that that is the case. Here, answer this because it might be somebody delivering something for me. In fact, I got gifts for the boys that were scheduled to come in studio today, and so that might be what's going on there. Or it might not be. It might just be a sales call. I don't know. But somebody was trying to call my phone from a number I didn't recognize. If you want to call it back, you can, and figure out what's going on there. It could be nothing, right? It could just be somebody that wants to help me with my car insurance or thinks that I owe back taxes or something along those lines. If that's the case, then I'm not concerned, for what it's worth. Not at all concerned about those types of things. All of this to say, if you want to be encouraged by anything that you saw last night, by all means, be encouraged. You want to say, hey, Keaton Mitchell looks great. And compare it to where he was a year ago, where he looked, at the time, he couldn't be on the field. Compare it where it was at the end of last year, where he just didn't look like he had the same burst that we had seen from him as a rookie. 100%. That feels encouraging. Does it tangibly mean anything? No idea. No earthly idea. You want to complain about how Cooper Rush looked last night? By all means, knock yourself out. Does it mean anything? Not at all. This is don't yuck someone's yum. If you're super into preseason football and you're just so happy that football is back that you feel like you want to overreact to everything that you see, God love you. I can't tell you you're right. I can't back it up. I can't say, yes, this definitively means that LaJohntay Webster, if you want to wave to him, I can see him right there. Yeah, I can see him right there. Will he, though? I mean, look. This is actually a good bit. We should actually put a camera on it. He's literally right there. That's him right there. Hey, we're right. You just run out and just run out and help him. This poor guy, just wandering around aimlessly trying to figure out where to deliver something to. Look, I'm derailing myself in the process. If that's where you are, is I want things to matter because I'm watching and I'm happy that football's back. God love you. God bless you. Feel that way. By all means, feel that way. You can just put it right there. Put it, yeah. Feel that way. God, the process of trying to order something to the studio. became an entire ordeal. It really derailed
Next
the
time,
show.
Next time, give him the hotline. We'll
really-
just talk to him on the air.
That's true.
What
Hey,
are you looking at
Hey,
right
man,
now?
wave.
I was like,
Wave to us.
I was like, what do you see right now? He's like,
Yeah.
I see a tree.
Oh, good.
And I was like, okay.
No, there are a lot of trees.
Any businesses or something?
Yeah.
Trying
And
to
they
get
all
a-
kind of do look the same around here.
I know.
They all kind of do
I
look
finally
the
was like,
same.
all right, walk away from the gas station at the end of the.
Oh, man. Sorry. All right, what do you want to talk about that you think mattered? I'm just saying that if you want to feel like it matters, God bless you, feel like it matters. Does it actually? No,
Yes,
not
I
definitively.
see. I definitely see how obviously it doesn't. It's hard to make anything matter too much, but I think the defensive
to me,
depth.
injuries are the only part that actually matters, and uniquely, kicking matters more than it usually would. But it doesn't. It's still nothing that happens in a preseason game determines what's going to happen in a real game. You want to say, like, hey, when the Buccaneers drafted what's-his-face Roberto Aguayo, you could tell during the preseason that he couldn't do it,
Right.
and Tyler Loop isn't falling flat on his face to the point where
Right.
you have to have a plan in place before week one. Fine.
If he can't, right. It's like if he can't make a kick in front of 10,000 people in the fourth quarter of a
But
preseason
there's just
game,
no
but-
reason to think that was going to be the case. He's made college kicks.
Mhm.
Like, there's going to be a question as to whether or not he can make the types of kicks the Ravens need. I saw somebody, might have been Bo. Oh man, I guess we should have done Bo today. What are we doing? We gotta.
Well, we thought we were doing stuff.
Yeah, we did think we had a loaded show today, and then all of a sudden, but I did think I saw Bo tweet out that at one point they went for it on 4th and 1, and eschewed what would have been like a 54-yard field goal attempt. And so I got Bo's point, which was if the priority here is Tyler Loop, is figuring out if you have a kicker, that might have been the spot to do it. They got it on 4th down, and they kept the drive alive. And John Harbaugh might say, well, we're actually not singularly prioritizing Tyler Loop. We are trying to work on what would we do in the regular season. And in the regular season, if it's 4th and 1, we're going for it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if he was asked about it post game. I didn't. Again, you're not going to get me to care nearly enough about what happened in a preseason game to dive into that. But like that is an interesting back and forth there. Like, would the responsible thing to have done there to be say Tyler Loop, go out there, try to kick this 54-yarder to figure out if you can trust him to kick longer field goals? Because at some point, that's going to be something you're going to have to figure out.
And so at that point, I'm not sure if he had, because he didn't attempt to kick until that 40-some yarder.
I think this was
late
late in the first.
third.
I think this was late in the first half that
so,
Bo was
so
referring
maybe,
to.
Yeah, so maybe they were like, we don't want the first one that he tries to be a 50, a 50+ yarder.
Maybe. I don't know. But, like, again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if he makes the kicker or not. It's an interesting scenario with a new kicker, and I thought that was an interesting point that Bo brought up, and I think that he is right that would have been a good opportunity to try to get Tyler Loop the chance to look at a long kick.
Outside the kicking, I think the defensive depth definitely stood up. I think there was a lot of questions about how deep the secondary was going to be outside of Marlon, Alexander, and like a Woozier and Hamilton. And they certainly Malachi Stark certainly seemed. He didn't play a whole lot, obviously, but he made some big hits. Sanusi Kane looked good. He was in. I felt like he was in on every play, and then Bo Braid played a lot. As well, I think, and same on the defensive line. I think we know who the starters are on the defensive front, both the rushers and the interior line, and I think they all stood the test up. They all passed the test as well. Just the depth of the defense, I think, showed a lot. Whereas the depth of the offensive line, I don't think was quite there. I think a lot of that plays into the quarterback. The quarterbacks aren't good.
Linderbaum and Stanley didn't play.
Correct, but Voorhees did.
Right.
Rosengarten let up a sack.
Yeah.
And then Lele played as well. He got bull rushed as well. There was a play where he got pancaked. So and I think those three played the first quarter. And then there wasn't a whole lot else that stood out offensive line wise. They had penalties as the game went on, but that was all the younger guys, those depth guys that nobody on the O line I think stood out oh cool, we got a guy, this could be a football player right here. So the offensive line, I think, is still very much a question mark or at least the depth of the offensive line.
And this is the part where I would say, even if they played well last night, I would tell you that would still very
Keaton Mitchell
much
looked
be
good.
a
Keaton Mitchell looked
question
good. So I
mark.
think that was also a very big positive.
This goes back to if you want to try to make a declarative statement.
Well, Keaton Mitchell is different because he didn't look good last year coming back from the injury.
Correct.
And
the point that everybody was trying to make was that it just looks like he has his burst back.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's if singularly that's the only way that you're measuring him, by all means, right? By all means, measure that. What Keaton Mitchell's role is going to be, no idea. None of these things are things I can say. But if all you were looking at is, does it look like Keaton Mitchell has his burst back? Sure. That's a good thing to measure. But people would tell you we saw that already during training camp.
I don't know how much, I'm sure it had to have been a priority, like improving special teams, because special teams were abysmal last year, both in the kicking game, the return game, all of it. Rasheed Ali, so Wester had the 80-some yard punt return touchdown out. Rasheed Ali had a 70-yard kickoff return.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones that didn't go for crazy long, like there were still 10, 15-yard returns in there. Stout wasn't. He was able to pin him inside the 20 a couple times, but again, nothing that Jordan Stout has done has blown you away by any means.
Preseason's not going to.
A couple punts that both landed right, or he ended up getting a fair catch at the 18-yard line. It's
it's not really, not really all that helpful, right?
I guess it's not terrible, but. And maybe, who knows? Maybe the offensive defense will be so good.
I'm letting you do so much more about the preseason game than I.
Offensive defense will be so good that maybe all you need from your punter is just to if it's inside the 20, even if it's the 19-yard line, that's a positive. Maybe.
You went to the game?
No, I did not.
You didn't go?
No.
That's weird. You almost always go.
I know.
This is very unlike you to not go to a preseason football game. I was almost counting on it.
We'll get the next one.
Well, there aren't any more, are there?
No, not home ones.
They play in
Washington.
Washington, yeah. Actually, my son was asking me.
I'm not sure about that one.
My son was asking me if we could go to Washington. I had kind of hinted the idea that I would take him to a road baseball game, and so it was supposed to be Philly this week. But then he had a camp this week. That his mother
part
was.
Of your plan, huh?
His mother was very unhappy with the idea of him not being him being out all night and then trying to go to camp. And with the Orioles not being very good, it was like, hey, buddy, why don't we maybe wait and see if they're better next year, and then we can try to do this next year when there's a little bit more excitement about the Orioles. And
Are we sure?
It's not about whether or not it's true. It's just about what I'm saying to my son, kid, man. I'm not going to say, hey, dude, I'm pretty sure they're going to suck next year,
so
too.
We're going to lie to our kids?
I hope. Yeah, wait a second. I don't think I guaranteed it. I think I said I was just hoping that they would be better next year. So he brought it up last night when we were at we went to dinner. We went to the new hibachi place in Hunt Valley, and they wanted to do their full review of the new hibachi place in Hunt Valley.
How was it?
They like it because it does noodles, and the old hibachi place in Hunt Valley did not do noodles with the meal. They just did rice. So the boys like the noodles. They're all in on the noodles. But we were there, and they had it up on the screen, and they brought up the upcoming preseason schedule, and my son saw at Washington, and he was like, Dad, you didn't take me to a road baseball game. You could take me to that. And I just thought to myself, me, of all people, going to a road preseason football game.
Yeah, but it was two good teams.
God.
Two good teams.
Could you imagine? I just heard John Colson's laugh from the other room. Of all the people in the world, I would be traveling. And of all the places to go,
Andover.
The singular, it's Landover. Andover's in Massachusetts.
Same thing.
The singular hellhole of the NFL. The worst location for a football game that exists on the face of the planet. So hopefully he will have forgotten about that over the course of the next couple weeks. Hopefully it's that thing that we get to, we get to wherever. We get to 2 weeks from now and the game's on. And he's just like, oh, dude, remember we were going to do that? And I say, sorry, buddy. Just didn't work out. Oh, look who's here. Moose, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you, man. Hey, man. It's good to see you, dude. Appreciate you coming in. Right in the middle. We got one of my best friends on the face of the planet, and Moose, who actually, given the actions of these two men recently, I might prefer to change friends, and Moose might become my new best friend moving forward because he's actually trying to save TNA Wrestling, whereas this other jerk has been doing some other things recently that I don't know how I feel about. Anything else you want to say about the game real quick?
No.
Okay, great. Thank you. Dynamite stuff. Thoughts to Bilal Kone.
Yes.
Please. That looked awful, and hopefully he gets better soon. All right. It is a Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I got gifts. We'll talk about that. Joining us now in studio. I don't know. Normally, you know.
Oh, you wear my favorite shirt.
You know, I normally love you. You know that. But your actions of late, I don't know how I feel about any of them. I don't know how I feel about any of them at all.
I mean, I'm the best heel in the business, man.
Brother, what you did to KC last night, I don't know that I can forgive you for. I don't know.
It was definitely evil.
That
Definitely
I can
diabolical.
forgive you for those actions, you son of a bitch.
Which part? Was it the part where I said he was a substitute and he was always a backup? Was it the part where I said I was happy he tore his ACL?
Oh,
was it the
what
part,
a bad person you are.
Was it the part where I said that he never deserved to be there?
My God.
Was it the part where I said, get off my stage before I throw you off my stage? Was it the part where I said he's a loser because all he does is lose? He's the reason we lost everything?
You feel good about yourself right now?
I was just wondering which part was it.
This guy, you know him, of course. He a Terp, and he has been part of our show Jobbing Out for a long time.
Yep.
He's actually co-hosted this show before.
That's a fact.
He is our friend AJ Francis, and he is back in studio with us. But unfortunately, he's
I have a friend.
He's the good news is you actually brought in somebody I like. Like the good news is you brought in someone who's actually a decent human being and trying to save TNA Wrestling currently. That's our friend Moose. Two guys that both had long NFL runs, and only one of them has ever had my butt in his face. However, that's true. That's a fact.
That's actually
a fact.
Unfortunately,
that's a fact.
That's actually a fact.
Moose, it's great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. So I got a bunch of stuff that I want to cover because you and I haven't actually just sat down and had a conversation about all of this.
Okay.
This thing. I remember the first time I went over to my ex-girlfriend's house after we broke up, and I was like, this is kind of I want to be cool, but this is kind of weird. What has this been like for you? You go through the breakup, you're killing it in TNA.
Yeah. You're
doing very different things.
Oh, yeah.
And then
real heel work, brother.
You show back up in Orlando, and there's the key card work. What has that been like for you over the course of the last few months?
For me, it's just validation. It's I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. There is no difference between First Class and Hit Row. The only difference is now I get to talk on the mic. And you look at that promo I did with KC last night, and you tell me why that guy doesn't get a microphone for 3 years in WWE. It just doesn't make any sense. So, I haven't changed anything. So I know the fact that I was brought back, and not only just brought back, but brought back in a capacity to help with the biggest star that they have in Trick Williams. And he's the greatest TNA champion of all time, way better than Moose. So you know what I'm saying? He's never lost the TNA championship. Moose has done that 3 different times. So, Trick and A is, the best version of TNA.
Okay, we're gonna fix
Hasn't
that.
Lost it yet. Yeah.
He's not going to ever.
I don't think we're gonna fix that at Emergence. I think we're gonna fix that. I think that's the plan here is to fix that moving forward. I guess I'll let Moose. Why don't you hop in there? Why don't we go ahead and respond? Is Trick Williams the greatest TNA champion of all time?
As good as Trick Williams is, whenever he loses the title, nobody's even going to remember.
Wow.
I think I've edged my legacy in TNA, so it speaks for itself. I don't really have to put myself over much. My name is synonymous to those 3 letters TNA, just like the AJ Styles, like the Kurt Angles.
We were talking about, it's funny, we were talking about
this. It's crazy that you mentioned the second best AJ in TNA history before you mentioned the best AJ.
It's so funny you bring that up, Moose, because we were talking about the heart and soul. So a lot of people were talking about AEW and Hangman Page winning the belt and how he's the heart and soul of AEW, and we were having that conversation about the heart and soul of TNA. And no disrespect.
No, it's definitely Moose.
With no disrespect, we were talking about how once upon a time everybody would have said that was AJ Styles, right? But these days, the truth is the heart and soul of TNA Wrestling is Moose.
That's a fact.
So as great as Trick is, and trust me, I have a lot of respect for Trick, and I do believe Trick is going to go down as WrestleMania main eventer. But as of right now, he's just another guy carrying the TNA title,
And you're planning on changing that.
I'm planning on changing.
You're planning on changing that.
I'll see if I got something to say about that.
How much fun has this been for you? Like the thing where we don't know where you guys are going to be week to week. The thing that we don't know that you're hopping up on NXT one week, or who's showing up at that. Somebody would say this is the Forbidden Door concept, right?
Yeah.
Is it really like that?
Yeah.
We get the phone call a couple of days before we have to go.
So when I was
don't
going
know.
when I was going to debut, and I could actually never told this story because I just haven't had a chance to. But when I was going to re-debut in NXT, like you mentioned, so what happened was we had a show in Toronto, and I was supposed to face Mike Santana on that show as a pay-per-view. And
it's a pretty big
you know what I'm saying. And I land in Toronto, and when I look at my phone, they say, plans change.
Get back on the plane.
Santana's gonna face KC. We're gonna push you in Santana's match to build the feud more. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, and I don't text any of this, but in my mind, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, we had this big match, and obviously me and Santana eventually had the match,
right.
and it's one of the best matches in a very long time. But like we end up having it. But at that time, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I can't believe that they're gonna push this match after the work we put in. This is stupid. Like, why is he facing KC? This is dumb. And I'm just like mad. And then I get to the facility, get to the arena, and Tommy's like, okay. He pulls me and Casey aside. He's like, okay, yeah, we pushed the match with you and Mike Santana because you guys are going to be stopping him from winning the TNA title at NXT. And I was like, that's actually better.
That's not bad.
That's actually better.
That's
okay.
not a bad
All right.
fit.
I messed up. All
right.
That's why you don't text when you're mad. You know what I'm saying? You keep those texts in, you keep those thoughts in, and you wait to see what it's going to be. You know?
At what age did you learn that, by the way? Because
35.
That definitely took me a minute in my life. It might have cost me a few
I
opportunities.
learned it that day at TNA. Because I was about to tell Tommy and Hunter, Hunter who works for TNA, not Hunter Hirsch Helmsley, but Hunter and TNA. I was about to tell him and Tommy something about themselves when I pulled up into that arena.
God,
I was
man.
like, first of all,
let me tell you
who
something.
do you think you are pushing my pay-per-view match?
It worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. It was dope. Moose, how much fun has this been for you? This sort of like unknown, and all of it leaves so many options on the table for what you guys might be doing from week to week.
I mean, you talking about the relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely fun. It's definitely different. Who thought in 2025 that WWE will be working with?
Dude, that scene the other night with
wrestling
all of
company,
you
right?
guys
Yeah.
in the ring. Can we talk about also, like, AJ and I have openly talked about this every year, how many black performers are in that moment together?
Yeah.
And
They look cool.
that part of it did not get lost on me. Like how dope that scene was.
Yeah.
To see all of you guys standing there together.
And on both sides of that feud.
See, I have a different take on that, like, because I didn't even notice that we were all black until the moment.
Really?
And I'm one of those guys that, like, let's not even talk about it. Let's just keep doing it and make it normal. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's my take on it. But I didn't even realize that, oh, wow, it's all 4 black dudes in the ring until after it was over and somebody mentioned it. I was like, that's awesome.
And looking amazed. Like, and in this incredible
and it was
big.
like all the biggest stars in their company right now are all like black guys. And, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, it's just one of those things that just keep making it. Let's just keep doing it, and we don't have to praise it and be like.
Then it won't. It won't even be noticeable at some point. At some point, you'll be like, "Right, this is just the way it works." Yeah.
It's like I'm one of those guys that I hate when people do something and be like, "Oh, I'm the first black champion," or it's like.
I didn't know you hated Swerve. I thought that was my gimmick. I thought that was my gimmick.
No, I don't hate Swerve at all. I'm actually good buddies with Swerve.
I know.
I don't like, and he's not the only one who's done it.
AJ's happy to do it for you. He's happy to do it for you.
I have nothing to do with whatever beef that they got going on. But it's just one of those things that I don't like when people say that, because it's like you're putting so much attention to it. You're making it a thing. Like, just don't talk about it. And let's just make it normal, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was funny.
It looked amazing though.
Yeah,
it looked amazing.
Yeah, but next Tuesday you're gonna see me and the Avengers. That's what I call it.
That's
Myself, Trick, Oba, and Javon go against Dark State, and it's crazy because
it's hilarious because Trick is a heel, but
Yeah.
he has beef with Dark State.
Yeah. And we all bring something different to the table, like man. So it's gonna be definitely a good stellar match, and then next Friday I get to become a full-time.
Let's make it happen at Emergence.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena over at UMBC.
I feel like I'm the only one who can't say those words.
Yeah, dude, no, everybody around here struggles with it too. It's a mouthful, I promise you.
Moose,
You're not
Moose,
the only
trust me, those are
one.
not the only words you can't say.
We'll add that to the list.
Is this still a big dude? You know, you and I, we go back a long time.
Yeah.
And I was there at the arena the night that you got drafted.
Yeah.
That, like this thing where you get to come back here and have nights like this, like at Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. Is it still register with you the same way? Do you still think about
man.
like?
I mean, to me, like I said, man, bro, I like get a chance to, you know, everybody that knew me as a little kid growing up watching wrestling, loving wrestling, now they get to see me as an adult and come back as a performer, and like to them it's just as surreal as it is to me. Like, and also like I don't take lightly the fact that you know, Nana gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? If Nana's there, I'm gonna show out. Like,
who of course you always say is the blackest person you know because
Yes.
she was literally born on Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Yep, correct.
Juneteenth.
Right.
Juneteenth,
Literally.
and she lived through segregation. You know what I'm saying? You know, the blackest lady I know is my grandma. You know
We love Nana.
Love Nana.
Love Nana. This right, what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to I told you I talked to our buddy Ken Dixon recently.
Yeah.
And Ken was like, look, man, me personally, I prefer working as a face, which is funny to me because I think about Ken all the time. Ken's a heel.
Ken's
right?
the worst.
Like, he's just a heel. But he said, I prefer working as a face, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, you have been given a lot of leeway.
Mm-hmm.
You have been given the opportunity, or you've taken it, because
Yeah.
I know you, and it's
Yeah,
possible you weren't
valid.
given that much leeway,
And I
and
just
you
do
just decided to
whatever I
take
want
it
with it,
anyway.
yeah.
What has it been like being able to tap into this, where you don't just get to be a heel, you get to be mega heel. You get to be as far
Evil?
as yes.
It's great because anyone who knows me knows I'm actually a very nice person.
I don't know about that.
I'm a
I don't
very
know.
nice
I remember
person.
a guy wandering in at 3 or 4 in the morning while I was
Yeah,
trying to
and
sleep
scaring you, yes.
and turning on the lights in my room. And yeah, I don't know exactly how good of a guy
Hey, listen,
you are.
here's the thing. We all do mean things when we're drunk, okay? But
It's a straight shoot, by the way.
yeah, it was.
We're staying in Bed-Stuy. We're
yes,
staying in
Brooklyn.
Bed-Stuy. And I
Was
am
that SummerSlam or what was it?
Mania. The year
Mania.
that
Oh
Mania
yeah,
was
that's
in
right.
New York.
In New York, yeah.
And I pass out, and AJ decided he had more evening ahead of him.
I did, and I had a
AJ was
lovely
like,
female companion.
Yeah, AJ was like, you're going to bed at 1 in the morning? That ain't happening in my life. Like, I've got more evening ahead of me.
Facts.
And so he went out, and I fall asleep, and the next thing I know, what the? I thought it was going down. Like, I thought this
That was
was
a
the
good time.
moment.
Yeah, and then like so like for me, bro, I love being the villain. I think it's my natural phase and form, mainly because I'm so big. So it's hard. Like Moose is somebody that if I was a babyface and he was a heel, it could be believable that he could keep me down, and I would need sympathy from the crowd to like get them behind me. But
by the way, it's also crazy looking at Moose, like knowing he was an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Like, it is still kind of wild,
You know what
like
I'm
looking
saying?
at you these days and being like, dude, you were an O-line.
yeah, he was like 70 pounds heavier than
Right?
he is right now. So it's but most of the time, the guys that I face are much smaller than me. So
Yeah.
it just makes sense visually for the story that needs to be told for me to be a heel.
To
more often than
overwhelm,
not.
to kick their ass.
Yeah. But I'm also very good on the mic, and your best heels can make people hate them by the things that they say.
Mm-hmm.
Me and KC, how many times have you ever seen a breakup as brutal as me and KC's was last night with no physical violence?
Right. Just handling it with
Just
right.
handling it with words.
Yep.
We kicked his crutches out, which was evil, but like it's no actual physical violence. And you leave like, I hate AJ.
Oh, I
love
you.
KC.
Hate you, bro.
And that's hard to do off just words, bro. It's really hard to do off just words. And it's so much. It would have been so much easier. I could have said if I would have spoke for a minute less and just choke slammed Casey through a table, we would have got the same result.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Casey couldn't take that bump because he's legitimately injured. He legitimately had ACL surgery. So it was not a lot of people I've seen been like, oh, is this a Seth Rollins thing? It's no. Casey is legitimately
and has been
tore his ACL and has and was able to push through the Slammiversary match with that. Right? So that says a lot about him and his character. But we were able to get what we needed without any physical violence, and that's hard to do.
AJ Francis and Moose from TNA are in studio with us again next week, next Friday and Saturday night at Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, TNAWrestling.com.
Yep.
It's where you go to get your tickets to check these guys out. Moose, AJ brought up Slammiversary, right? Like, you've been with TNA for a long time. To be in that building, right, one of the biggest buildings, to have that crowd and that much electricity for that event. And it's not to take anything away from any of the other things that you've done or you've accomplished, but can you describe what that feeling was like for the company, for everything that you put in to have an event like that, a moment like that, and a crowd like that for TNA?
Oh, man, it was definitely something special because I've been in TNA where we thought having 500 people in the arena, or not even the arena, the ballroom that we was performing in was a big deal. And for us to have the amount of people we had at UBS Arena, it was freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
The actual, I usually, after each pay-per-view, when I get to my hotel, I get a cold and I rewatch the pay-per-view, and I could honestly say that Slammiversary is probably the best pay-per-view we've had since I've been there from start to finish.
Yeah.
You're
welcome,
I'm waiting.
Moose.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
You're
I was
welcome,
waiting
Moose.
for it.
I'm happy that the roster put on a good show, and and I feel like that night we built a new star in Leon, so I'm happy to see where Leon's career goes from there. And the sky's the limit for him.
And obviously, I don't want to say too many nice things about him, but what Mike Santana's doing right now, it's nuts, man. Like, that guy is. It did not take long for him to. Everyone watching be like, "Oh, bro, that's a star." Like, that guy is a star.
Yeah, he betted on himself, and it's paying off for him.
No doubt about it, man.
Relatable content.
Let's talk about it, AJ. How are your balls?
They're great.
All right.
They're great. When you got,
I didn't know how to send that text appropriately.
When you got enough shaft to cover, you're good. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
You've explained it. You've explained to people that didn't understand why you took the bump. Did you find it? Can we show it to everybody at home?
Yes.
The jump. Yeah. For people that haven't seen it, you have
The
explained
gnarliest
to people.
bump ever.
Correct. Walk me through.
So what happens is, like I told you, KC is legitimately injured in this match, right? So the people in the back were telling the refs, who told Myron Reed, don't let KC take this bump. Don't let him take the bump. And so he grabbed KC by his foot, and then he was like, they don't want you to take the bump. They don't want you to take the bump. And am I allowed to cuss, Glenn?
Yes, you're allowed to cuss here. But,
So-
but let's keep,
I'm just telling you. It's just
Tell
one
a story,
cuss
right,
word.
yeah.
It's just one cuss word. But it's what KC said to Myron when Myron was like, they don't want you to take the bump. KC looked down at Myron and said, just push the fucking ladder, bro. So while this conversation's happening, I'm deeply involved in this conversation because I'm on the ladder and I'm wondering, am I going to have to take this bump by myself? How is this going to change what we're doing in this moment? So I'm trying to live analyze what's happening. So then they actually just start pushing the ladder, but at this point I realized that my foot is too low and I needed to be up another rung. So I just I'm like, well, the option is I could trip on this rope and then land on my head.
Yeah, that doesn't seem good. Yeah.
Or
not ideal.
Or I could just jump and hope for the best. So
option 2 became the play.
I jumped and hoped for the best, and because I landed directly between the ladder and shit, I literally actually landed on my feet and just rolled with it. But it looks so gnarly that when I hit it and then I rolled out of it, I was waiting for the replay to play. I'm watching the Jumbotron, and when I see me go through the Jumbotron and I see the video finally, I go, oh, everyone thinks I'm dead.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Meanwhile, KC is legitimately hurt.
Right.
Right, and nobody has asked him one time.
Right. Are you all right there? No.
No. Meanwhile, I'm perfectly fine, and everyone's like, "Are you okay? Oh my God, I was so nervous for you." And I was the one that carried KC out of the arena.
That's
You know what I'm
wild,
saying? So,
man. That is what doing that stuff though.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked a lot about. One of the things that we talked about when you were first making this transition was, for a big man, the things that you were going to be capable of doing.
Yeah.
Working ladder matches.
Yeah.
Getting to have those types of spots at people that don't know. Remind everybody your size.
I am 6'5", 330 pounds.
This is effing amazing.
Yeah. Especially like when you take into account that I did that moonsault off the ladder right beforehand.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
And people ask me, they're like, "How many times did you practice that?" I was like, "I never practiced that.
Just did it.
Why would I ever take that bump more than once?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I can do a backflip.
Right.
I know I was going to be high enough on the ladder that I was going to clear, so I wasn't worried about clearing. I was like, the funny thing is when we went over in rehearsals, we used the 8-foot ladder, but in the match, KC was the one to set up the ladder, and he said the only ladder that was in the ring was a 10-foot ladder. So I'm actively, like, in my mind gauging, am I high enough? Do I need to take another step up? Because this wasn't the ladder that I practiced on. So I'm like actually calculating as I'm climbing this ladder.
Yeah, is this
like
right?
I don't know if this is right. And then I just was like,
we're
God
here.
protect
right?
me.
Yeah, right.
I looked around, I saw that sea of people, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Your poor father's there.
My dad's there.
Like, he's there.
My dad said that I am the craziest Francis in the family lineage.
Which is saying a lot.
It is.
It's saying a lot.
It is.
But he might be right about
Yeah,
that.
he probably is.
He might be right about that.
Moose, would you do a moonsault off a ladder?
I probably have at some point in my career.
I know you do moonsaults.
I don't know.
You've done the cross body moonsault, which is the craziest one to me because I'm afraid I'll break my wrist doing that.
I've been wrestling so long.
But what was the path? Because we've never actually just talked about that with you, right? Like, did you know? AJ knew he wanted to wrestle, right? Like, AJ.
Similar path.
Okay.
I knew when I was
so for people that don't know, like, Moose played football at DeMatha, Syracuse, in the NFL for a few years.
He was actually in the NFL longer than me.
Did you have the thought that, like, AJ was always, when this is done, I know exactly what I'm doing?
Same exact way.
Really?
Yeah, it's just I say this NFL derailed my career.
Really?
Yeah. So it took me a route that I wasn't expecting. I didn't think I was going to play in the NFL for as long as I did. I didn't even think NFL was an option. Like, I knew I was going to college for free, and I knew after college I was going to
be a wrestler.
Call WWE and be like, "Yeah, I want to be a wrestler." I didn't even know how you got into wrestling.
He
know what I'm saying?
He said he was going to call WWE.
Yeah, just make the phone call.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Vince, I'm ready.
Where do I show up?
Yeah.
Right.
Who do I fight?
Yeah.
Who do I fight?
But I didn't know.
I guess when you're that size, that's the way that you have to think, right? Oh, you don't think I can be a wrestler?
No, seriously, I didn't know you had to go to school to
Yeah.
learn how to be a wrestler, and I didn't even know there was such thing as the indies. Like, I thought it was just, I didn't know there was Ring of Honor. I mean, I knew TNA was a thing, but I thought it was WWE, ECW, which WWE bought, WCW,
Which WWE
Right.
bought, TNA.
and then TNA, and I didn't know Ring of Honor was a thing. I didn't know Dragon Gate USA was a thing. I didn't know New Japan was
Right.
a thing. Like, I didn't know the indies was a thing. I thought you just
You just showed up and
WWE.com and apply to be a wrestler. Hope for the
What?
best. Yeah.
cover letter. Like,
That's
to which
crazy.
McMahon it may concern.
but,
My name is Quinn.
but then I got drafted, and then what idiot would turn down, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, right.
The amount of money that you're going to make.
AJ didn't even get drafted, and he
I
wasn't
know.
turning it
Yeah,
down.
for
yeah,
sure.
So it was one of those things where I'm happy where I am now. I'm living a dream.
But this really was always what you wanted.
Yeah,
You
hell
always
yeah.
wanted to do this.
Yes.
That's dope,
Yeah,
man. That's a really cool story. I did not know that was part of the deal.
And I
for you.
mean, I tell people the NFL has given me everything in life that I always wanted.
Bingo.
And pro wrestling's taking me everywhere I always wanted to go. So
I saw you tweet
That's
out
a cool way to think
like
about it.
yesterday that thing of like the top 50 cities in the country. And
Yes,
you're like, dude, I've
literally.
legitimately been to 49 of the
Bro,
big 50.
there's an Instagram thing going on right now.
Yeah.
It says the top 50 cities in America. How many have you been to? And the only one I have not been to is Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And like, if there's gonna be one on the list, like that's probably the okay
That's
one on the list.
legitimately
You're
the
like,
only
yeah, I
one.
can live with that one being the
49
one.
other
and
cities.
pro wrestling's taking us to all these places for free.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like most of those I went to. Well, a lot of
You're
them I
getting
went to 'cause
paid,
of,
right.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
football too. So football and wrestling took me to the vast majority of those.
That's
cities.
incredible, man. That's an incredible way to go about living
Yeah,
life, dude.
it
That's
is.
that's a
It's pretty
dope.
sick.
I say this all the time. Like people ask me, like how real is AJ? And I'm like, this will tell you how real AJ is. AJ appreciates small things, right? Like we went to the one WrestleMania in New York,
Yep.
and there was some like barbecue pork in the suite that we were in, and it
Oh,
was fine.
yeah.
But like AJ was like so happy to have
That
been.
I didn't have to leave.
Like this is like he's so. And what I always tell people is like, you never forget where you came from.
Nah, never.
You never forget how you had it,
Mm-hmm.
and that this is always better than that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't take it for granted in
Yeah,
that way.
I mean, from the life where my life started to where it is now, bro. If I complain, I'm a loser, bro.
Right.
Like I'm in such a good position in my life and everything that I've done and all the blessings I've been given, and like even in like, bro, I could have easily broke my legs on that jump and I could have busted my nuts. I could have done.
It could have been Rich kicking you out of first
Yeah,
class,
literally.
right?
I could have been done too. So like, I also recognize how lucky I've been because that could have went terrible. Obviously, I didn't do that. On
Dude, the
purpose.
thing with Rich is so cool. I know
love it.
you and I have talked a little bit about it, but like I remember us being back. What was the show that we were hanging out backstage at?
It was in Baltimore.
It was at the arena, and I had known Rich for a while at that point.
Yeah.
And so I just gravitated towards him. Like AJ was making the rounds, meeting
Yeah,
everybody,
you know me.
networking. I had no business being there. AJ just called me and was like, dude, you want to come hang out backstage at the show? I had been watching Tim Tebow play baseball that day in like Hagerstown.
Oh my gosh.
And I got in a car and drove back because AJ was like, come hang out with us. We're hanging out backstage at a show. And so I just gravitated towards Rich because I knew Rich. Like, and I had known Rich for forever. And Rich literally said to me, like, you walked away, and Rich said, has your boy ever thought about wrestling?
That's hilarious.
Like, has your boy ever, like, I bet he could do this.
Was this a WWE show?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was at a WWE
Yeah,
show.
when he was in WWE.
And I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, he has.
Yeah, and it's
Like-
funny. We're called first class because me and Rich literally met on a plane.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So before that, me and Rich was going somewhere in WWE. He was going on a flight somewhere, and I was going somewhere in the NFL, and we just happened to be sat next to each other.
For
in-
those that don't, Rich is from Baltimore.
Rich
For
is
people
from
that don't
Baltimore.
know that, Rich Swan is a Baltimore.
So he's in the middle seat, and I'm in the window seat on the last row of a flight. Okay, we're in the last row, me and Rich, and he's knocked out. And now, as a wrestler, I understand it because a lot of times when you take them 6 a.m. flights, you don't sleep.
Yeah.
And you just zonk out on the plane, right? But at the time, he's in the middle seat, and I have to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, yo. I'm like pushing him. I'm like legitimately pushing him where I have to literally lift his head with my hand. I'm like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, oh, my bad, bro. Da-da-da. We go to the bathroom, and then once I get back from the bathroom, we end up talking for a little bit. And it was funny because he was going to do some wrestling stuff, and I was going to do some football stuff. And we were in the last row of the plane. So then when I came to
Now-
TNA, the whole gimmick was, I said, where do we meet? He said, in the back of the plane. I said, in the back of the plane.
And now,
And where do you sit
Yep.
now? He's like, still in the back of the plane. I was like, exactly. You're still in the back of the plane, but not me. I fly first class. And ever since then, that's how first class was born. And,
awesome.
you know, obviously me and Rich only had a run for about 4.5 months before I had to, swap him out with KC. Me and KC had a hell of a run for the last 9 months. And, you know, next man up, KC got hurt. He don't deserve to be there. He's a bum. He's soft. He's weak. You know, he deserved to have his ACL torn.
oh God!
So he deserved it. And, you know, I'm glad that it happened. And now I get to be with my
But
real
that's-
tag team partner, Rich Swan.
That's really special to me that you're working with Rich again. That's really special to me because that connection means a lot, man.
It's great.
I know your body type has changed. And Moose's body type has clearly changed over the years.
Yes.
Are you still fat guy friendly?
Of
at
course.
All right.
Fat guy friendly.
Moose, are you fat?
I created a
Are
movement.
you at all fat
You don't
guy
even
friendly?
know this.
Yeah.
I created a
sometimes.
movement at the University of Maryland called
Yeah.
Fat Guy Friendly.
This is a straight bit. He was a fathlete. He was a fathlete
Fathlete.
during his career at the University of Maryland. Reed and I do this segment where we try new things.
Yep, I know. I'm aware. I was assuming you're gonna have a new Oreo flavor.
Well, unfortunately, the Reese's Oreos don't come out for a couple of weeks, so that's not happening yet. But we tried something yesterday that is the highest score we've ever given to anything.
Okay.
And what's the
So I'm gonna let you try it because it doesn't look the part,
score? It's a Reese's.
but just trust me, it is a Reese's Cinnabon. Wow. And when I tell you it got the highest scores in the history of this segment,
Plates.
I don't know. You get forks at
Yeah, I
least.
need a
I asked for
fork.
forks when I ordered. I asked.
wow.
Yeah, right. I asked for it. If you don't want it, we're not going to be
I'm not going to
offended.
be able to eat the whole thing.
And we're not going to be offended.
Just a
We're
bite.
not going to be
Just take a
offended.
bite. Just take a
yeah,
bite.
we can save the rest of it. I'm telling you,
It smells
the
incredible.
highest scores we've ever given
Oh my
out
God.
in
It
this
smells
history.
so
I'm
good.
getting Griffin's getting you a fork. In the meantime, one more plug.
Okay.
TNAWrestling.com.
Yep.
Next Friday and Saturday,
Yep.
Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena
Yep.
at UMBC. Friday night is Emergence. Moose is fighting to save TNA.
Yeah.
He's going to get the belt back.
He's
from-
not going to, but that is what
Yes.
he's fighting
No,
for.
we're going to make it happen. He's getting the belt back from Trick Williams.
He's not.
And then a taping of Impact on Saturday night as well.
Yep.
Both great nights.
Oh, man.
I still need you to swing by
Where's
the
Ross?
house somehow. I need you somehow to figure out
You
a
gotta
time to
pick me up.
swing by the house. We can make that happen.
When are you
somehow.
gonna do the pig roast?
It's Saturday. It's a real problem for me, dog. It's a real. I got it. Griffin's bringing in.
Ross,
He's
you
coming
get-
in.
Come on, you got to try this.
He's
You don't know
bringing
this.
it
Me
in.
and Ross have epic battle of Cinnabons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ross, if you haven't tried the Reese's Cinnabon yet, I'm telling you, it's the most insane thing I've ever tried.
Here
It's
we go.
bonkers how good this thing
So
is.
the story with Cinnabon is we was in a media tour, I want to say in Texas, Dallas, and Ross got Cinnabon. It was me and Mickey doing the round, and Ross was like, I'm Cinnabon. Do you guys want anything? And we both was like, no, we're good. We don't want them. So he orders a Cinnabon, and he doesn't take a bite out of it because me and Mickey kills it.
Oh, yeah.
What a terrible person.
That, by the way, sounds like something that AJ would do for what it's worth.
Moose is, but I'm the heel.
It sounds
I'm
like
the heel.
something that AJ would do.
He just leaves the outside, the part.
Oh, what a weirdo. What a
I took the
weirdo.
best part.
Oh, who does that?
That's
Leaves
you
the
see what I'm
outside of the
cutting, right?
Cinnabon.
You see
They're
what I'm
not spending
cutting?
any money with us, so you
Here
can
we
be
go.
honest.
All right, here
We
we
don't
go.
have to, but
Cinnabon.
I'm telling you,
What is it? The
Reese's
peanut butter.
Cinnabon.
All right, Reese's Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Here we go. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. Wow.
Yeah. Right? Right? I swear to God, the highest scores we've ever given anything.
10 out of 10, no
It's
notes.
unbelievable. It's
God, this is
unbelievable.
good.
Yeah. It's unbelievable how good this thing is.
I was afraid. I was like, Reese's going to work?
Yeah, right? Bro, it's unbelievable.
Bro, this is great.
how good that thing
And it's
is.
not even hot. If it was hot,
Yeah,
it would be-
yeah. We had the
want
guy.
any?
The guy was wandering around for 30 minutes trying to find.
Oh my God, this is good.
Right,
Bro.
Right? It's nuts. It's nuts how good that is.
That's exactly what I needed.
At AJ Francis 410. That's how you find him. It's the Moose Nation, or remind me,
Instagram is Moose Nation 69.
Moose Nation 69. Give him a follow there. TNAWrestling.com. Get your tickets. For
It
next
is funny
weekend.
we both wore 69 in our careers.
That is true. That is a good point. Love you. Great to see you, Moose. I love you more now because AJ's a dick. So you're my guy moving forward. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us
Appreciate you,
today,
brother.
bro.
Thanks for having us, man.
Appreciate you. When we come back in, Orioles ace Trevor Rogers, the hottest pitcher in baseball, joins us next. It is a Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition and corporate gifts, visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smolka profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green, and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Here, Colson, come try it. Come. I'm telling you. What? Okay, it's fine. I don't care. Whatever. Dude, you want to be a weirdo. Griffin, you want this one? Yeah. Dude, trust me. I have in my life tried many things. You all know that. You've paid attention to this show and the other shows that we do. There's a new episode of Rita and Glenn available now, wherever you get your podcasts, and youtube.com/@RitaandGlenn. And we've tried many things on that show. And I would say that before now, the best thing we ever tried, I believe it was the Chick-fil-A banana pudding milkshake was the highest rated thing we had ever tried. Yeah, because a giant man was sitting in that chair, Colson. A man that isn't the size of other human beings was sitting in that chair. Well, hang on, you got to turn John's mic on because nobody.
Sorry about that.
Whoa, that's very impressive. I thought it was worse than that. I thought it was the Cinnabon falling down on top of you.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said. If it sucked, you could say it sucked because they don't spend any money with us. Correct. But here's what happens: it doesn't suck. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God!
It's unbelievable.
It looks intimidating too.
It looks like poop. Like, can we be honest? I gave it a 9. Everybody else gave it a 10. I gave it a 9.8 because the look isn't great. But
I think the look helps.
You think it adds to it?
Yeah. It's like, look at this behemoth.
My God.
What?
Like,
what is going on with that?
I have never. I don't know how to describe
it. It's like the little peanut buttery.
It's the most insane thing I've ever experienced.
It's really good.
It's so
good. You don't
good.
eat sweets.
I don't eat sweets at all. I won't have another one because I
don't
eat
eat
sweets. But that
that's freaking good.
I got one for the three of us to share on the podcast last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one bite, and Rita had, and she was like, "You're not gonna eat the rest of yours, are you?" I'm like, "I'm not." Go ahead. Like,
I had some Rita news, by the way.
Oh.
I had a conversation with her this morning. The fine people at Game Day Men's Health are going to sponsor her NFL party that she does. The one before
the Gridiron Girls kickoff party.
Yeah,
Gridiron Gals kickoff party.
Yes,
I'll be there in
exactly.
Curtis Bay. I'm looking forward to that.
And Game Day is sponsoring it.
Well, that's interesting.
So more than 50% of his clients are referred by their partner,
that
wife,
makes more
or
sense. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait a second, it's called Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a little-
And he does have women going there for weight loss stuff.
I did not know that was an option.
It's an option.
Somebody recently asked me about that, and I thought
Yeah.
it was just for
Yeah, they're not going to
men.
get the ED treatment.
Well, yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Well, though,
that's-
today in this day and age,
That's interesting. GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Yeah.
You can sign up right now for your complimentary testosterone test.
or sign your man up,
Or sign your man up 100%. And if you're
or
dealing,
sign yourself up if you want to lose a little
John,
weight.
you're over there dealing with doing some weight loss
Yeah,
stuff.
12
right
pounds,
now.
man. Very
That's
excited.
awesome.
Very
and of course,
excited.
I've been taking peptide treatment from Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, and it's helped me get a little bit more of a pep in my step. And
My blood pressure is down, which is freaking awesome.
I did not realize that was part of it. That's amazing,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm no, seriously. My blood pressure borders on high, and I take I take it not really a blood pressure medication, but it's basically called a water
They
pill.
might not be thrilled about that. They might.
Yeah,
not be
the
thrilled.
one bite. No, the
Yeah.
one bite is cool.
Yeah.
But my blood pressure was down pretty significantly.
Well, that's awesome.
Which
That's
is awesome.
That's
because my goal, frankly, is to not go on to blood pressure medicine
Right.
and not have to go down that world. And if I can get myself off of what I take, which is minimal, I'd love to
Oh,
do
that's
that.
tremendous.
And yeah, so I was really happy yesterday.
Game Day Men's Health Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. In Columbia, 443-266-3505. In Frederick, 240-931-3717. GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
And thank you for your counterproductive Cinnabon.
Yeah,
with
this
the,
was just the boys were coming in today, and I didn't think ahead to ask you about getting crab cakes or anything like that.
No.
And so
It's all
after
good.
this yesterday, I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
I know." Well, AJ, I knew would be all over. I mean,
Sure.
AJ and I were
He's such a good dude.
Oh, he's one of my favorite humans on the face of the planet, which is why it's so ironic that he is like the biggest heel on the world right now. But yeah, I knew that would be enjoyed. I knew that would be
Very
the
good.
case.
Very
So,
good.
brought
Can we
you
get a
this.
TikTok made about that?
About that?
About them
You
being in
just-
here and doing
oh,
that?
okay. You can. Yeah, we can work on
I
that.
would like to.
Yeah,
do
we
that.
haven't done great on the TikTok
Yeah, I know,
this
this
week.
has been a bad week for me.
Yeah, have not been
Well,
great about the TikTok this
I'd,
week.
I'd,
back.
And
I'd
we're
like one
trying to
on.
give
We got
away.
Trevor Rogers this week.
That's true.
I'd like one on that bit and one on your interview that's coming up very shortly.
We also are trying to give away a pair of Orioles tickets. The deal
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
you got to show to us that you're following us on TikTok, Glenn Clark Radio. Just take a screen cap, a screenshot, as the kids say. Email producer@pressboxonline.com, and you'll be registered to win a pair of tickets to next Thursday afternoon's Orioles Mariners.
Nice lower level tickets.
Ooh, nice lower level tickets. We will choose a winner on Wednesday.
From the Orioles. I mean, directly from not our tickets. They gave them to us to do this with, so I think that's very cool.
Remind me, I got to talk to you. If I need something.
Oh, boy.
I need.
Oh,
I
my.
need something. I need something. But yes, we're giving away a pair of tickets for the Thursday's Orioles game to someone who follows us on TikTok. But you got to show us that you're following. We're not just going to go through the random because some people might not live here. I don't know. You got to send us an email. Just take a screenshot that shows that you're following us on TikTok, and send it to us, producer@pressboxonline.com, and you'll be registered to win. It is as simple as that.
I didn't know there was a producer at pressboxonline.com email. Is that a new?
No, we've had that for a long
I
time.
think,
I just don't know that we check it
new.
very
It's-
frequently.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Start
we use
checking
it
that,
for, like,
producer,
one account
please.
so
I
far.
yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I think it's more like when something like this comes up, it's a good email to have.
Right.
Instead
it's
of.
still relatively new. I think it's like.
And we have another pair coming up in a week
Yeah,
or two.
we'll have
So
another- we'll have
it's
more-
very
we'll
cool.
have more giveaways.
Yep.
You
All
good?
good.
Anything
Yep.
else I can do for you?
I'm excited about the BMW golf tournament.
Yeah, BMW
Yeah.
BMW Championship. That's what
BMW
it's called. Say
Championship
it correctly.
golf.
Stan the Fan was talking with
Extravaganza.
Vince Pellegrino this week about
Yeah.
BMW Championship. You can find that Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline, or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan shows brought to you by the Costas Inn and the Only Costas Inn, now open at the Grandstand in Timonium. You see how
What do they
seamless it was?
serve there?
It's like, everything but
Ah,
steamed crabs.
yes.
Everything but steamed
In
crabs.
Timonium.
Everything you love.
In Timonium.
Timonium, huh? I feel like Tom Davis is going to the Orioles Hall of Fame this weekend. How would Tom Davis say Timonium?
Timonium.
Yes, thank you.
I'll go on down there and do
love-
crab
love-
cakes
love
in
you, Tom.
Timonium.
Tom is very uniquely Baltimore, very uniquely one of us. Love Tom. Love every show he ever did from the parking lot of Royal Farms. Love every time he read a Mars Circular.
Sat on a bench with Bruce Laird doing a
100%.
show.
He is
read
so,
a Mars Circular.
There are not many like Tom Davis.
He would
is
sit there in the
uniquely
post-game
ours.
show and read the Mars
Just
Circular.
read the Mars Circular. It would be an entire segment.
Bacon
of the show.
is 23 cents off a pound
legit,
this week.
It was content.
Yeah.
He was like, and Turkey Hill ice cream. And if you're gonna have ice cream, you need to have some cake with. And he would just read it.
Yeah. And right from go to Mars. Buy
for 5 minutes, and somehow we would keep listening.
deli meats.
Like we wouldn't say, "I wonder what's happening on another radio station." We would just
Well,
listen
wait a
to
minute.
Tom Davis.
How could you leave that really?
That's
because
great. That's the content. We would just
and we
listen to
struggle
Tom
over
Davis.
what content people are going to like.
Oh my God! I think to myself, this can't be any good.
I have an
Nobody wants
idea.
this. Yes. Just
Maybe
read
we get the giant food circular and you start reading it.
They pay us like Mars paid Tom Davis.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
no joke.
100%.
Okay, guys, thank you
All right,
very
thank
much.
you.
That's phenomenal.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
Are you giving it a 10, John?
Yeah. What would be yours?
I would give it a 9.5.
9.5.
I was gonna go 9.9 probably.
9.
And by the way, I'm
It's just a little too big.
up to 22 million views of my restaurant reviews on YouTube.
22 million views.
Yes, I can prove that if you.
What did you
doubt
most
it.
recently review?
Amora.
I
Which
don't
is
think I've ever been to Amora.
It just was put in the New York Times top 50 restaurants, and it's on Key Highway, and it's Syrian, Middle Eastern food. It is freaking incredible.
I'd like to go. I'd like
It is
that.
freaking
That
incredible.
would not be one for Mrs. Clark.
You want? Oh, dude, it's
No, she doesn't new things. It's a difficult.
it's rice
Just
and
did the
chicken.
new Hibachi.
John, you're trying to have a very human
What?
conversation.
It's
What?
rice and chicken and
John,
potatoes and
John.
wine.
John, you don't understand. She can't know that it's Syrian. She
No,
just can't
well,
know
don't tell her
We
that.
would have to somehow bamboozle her into believing it's an American place.
Baba Ganoush
Yeah.
is there.
Nope, she does. Nope. No, you don't understand.
I
You know the
understood
place
that.
I love so bad up by my house?
Yeah.
I couldn't get her to. It was open.
Oh,
and-
what place?
Pierce's.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It's amazing. But it's by us, and there's nothing good by us, right? And so all of a sudden we have this cool,
Yeah.
very good Indian.
And she won't
place
eat Indian?
for the first 6 months, and everybody was raving about how good it was. She wouldn't go. It's an Indian place. I won't go. It took me I had to trade off going to see a Fast and the Furious movie, something that I had no interest in doing, to say you're gonna go with me to Pierce's, and then she was like, "Oh, this is what it is. This is great." I'm like, "Thank you."
So the same
God's sake.
and this was also in People magazine as one of the 50 most beautiful restaurants in the country.
Oh,
So I
right.
think
right.
check
All
it AMMOORA.
sounds great.
Got 5 stars.
Sounds
I
great.
never get 5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He was stingy on. Everybody else was giving the Cinnabon a 10. He was like 9.5.
Yeah.
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 It could still be better.
It could be.
somehow.
It could be chocolate.
What?
Throw a little chocolate on top of that.
There's some chocolate.
A little
in
more.
there.
It needed a little more
Wow.
chocolate.
Oh God.
I mean, that's true for everything, but yeah.
No.
That's how I feel.
You're a wretched person.
I-
Oh, you know what else we tried yesterday? I think
Steak?
there's a couple in the fridge. We tried the A&W root beer ice cream sundae
Oh, that's what
flavor.
John was talking about. I was
Yeah,
lost.
we tried that
No,
yesterday. Yeah, I didn't ask.
I'm not a root
I
beer
gave
guy to
Leah
start
one. I don't
with.
know how she felt about it. We all were between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Although it was weird because Caleb, our producer for that show, took a sip, made noises.
Say it like that.
What were those?
Made noises.
What were the Oreo cookies that you had last week? I guess was it pretzel?
Oh no,
or
we had brought those in before. Leah brought those back in.
The Selena Gomez ones?
I
the chocolate covered pretzel flavor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved those.
It's weird because at first they changed the flavoring
Okay.
because Leah said that to me when she brought them in. She's like, "Look," because she remembered when I brought them in.
Remember,
the
I
first
was
time.
raving about them,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Why?"
Yeah, she said they're different. I don't know what they did. They're different, but you're right. There's a little bit more of this because you didn't get much pretzel. It
Oh,
just
okay. It
tasted
tastes to me like
well,
salty.
the
Yeah.
new- whatever they did, you got way more pretzel
Yep.
out of it this time
Yep.
than the first time they were.
Well, I
in
love
bag.
that.
I don't know what we've done in this segment other than just basically.
You want to talk about more restaurants?
We can do that if you'd like.
I can do that all
I'm
day
fine.
long.
It's,
man.
I'm just as good as that talking about a
I could
preseason football
go
game.
through.
I can't do it. Which might be part of the reason I'm in certain situations. I can't do it. I
Yeah.
cannot.
No, I got you.
I
I got
cannot. Griffin's over here like, I don't know about the offensive line.
I mean, I'm telling you, something happens. I'm worried.
Yeah, but that was the way it was beforehand.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you,
Talk
John.
to you guys later.
Thank you, John Colson. I appreciate you stopping by to say hello. That's a most worshipful Grand Master, John Colson, here at Press Box, stopping in. All right, Trevor Rogers is joining us. This is not. I had not been made aware that the time for Trevor Rogers had changed, so we had more time with AJ and Moose, but it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I tried it because it happened like 15 minutes before we were supposed to get him out of here, so it was like,
All good. All good. This would not, to me, I don't know. That would be a Brian Powell decision on whether or not it
Oh, it's not
qualifies as a
botch.
botch. We never figured out a punishment for botch either, so
Yeah.
we can't start the game until we get a viable botch punishment.
There's no
Where
chance
are
it's a
we?
botch.
What's
I was
the,
trying to.
what's
should I
the
have
up-
interrupted your conversation?
What's the update on the other stuff?
That's not a botch either.
What is the update?
Working on it.
No, you're not. Don't lie.
Got places to call.
Don't
Got
lie in front
places
of
to
God
call.
and everybody.
Oh,
Like,
right, yeah,
don't
what
just
are they
sit
gonna
here.
do?
Yeah, right. Don't do that. I know that's the new thing to do in our country. I understand that. That's the hip thing that everybody's doing. But don't sit here and lie. You haven't done anything. Because I know you. If you had done something, you would have told me about it. You would have mentioned it at some point. You haven't done anything. We are no closer to paying off these other punishments than we were before. I understand the Jeremy thing. We got to make sure that his throat still works. Which is a weird sentence
Throat
to say.
enhancement, I thought it was.
That we already have to start thinking about
Yeah.
next season and what the punishment is going to be. So we need to come up with a botch punishment, and we need to come up with a next season.
All right, well, let's do the donut thing.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh,
that's just because
darn it!
you-
I gotta
yeah,
eat 7
You just
donuts
want
in a
to do that. That's the problem
10-pound
that we
cookie.
have.
Darn it.
Griffin just wants to eat cookies and donuts. He's like, that sounds great to me. How do we make that happen? No, we're not doing that as the punishment. And reminder, next week, show will be a little bit different. We're going to start at 11 o'clock every day next week. This is not a full commitment. This is not new show. We're just starting at 11 o'clock. Shows are going to be a bit shorter next week. We're going to be trying some new things. We're going to have some new visual components. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Griffin. He's never been in this spot before.
Right when we're going to start the botch game.
He was actually thinking about like whether or not he could take another vacation. He was like, "Oh, it was really funny. I was thinking about going to Myrtle Beach next week." I said, "Griffin, you've had 6 weeks of vacation this
Lovely
year.
this time of year.
It is. It's hot. I mean,
Everywhere is, but
But no, that's not going to be on the table for next week. We're going to need you here as we just try some things out for what the show might look like moving forward. So next week, reminder, 10 a.m., you won't find us. You'll find yesterday's show. 11 a.m., we'll be live every day next week. So looking forward to that and hope that you'll be joining us. Very excited to be joined now here on GCR by, frankly, one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. What a story it has been for this man this season as he got back to Baltimore and has been basically unhittable. He is Orioles ace, Trevor Rogers, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. Trevor, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you. Thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely, Trevor. Trevor, I know you've talked about it a lot, right? But can you take us back? When you got back here, maybe even starting with the Boston game, did you know that, everything was good and that everything that you had been through last year, it was past you? Or did you need to see the results, too, to have that confidence that you were back to being yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's a little bit of both. I knew that off season that the work that I put in, and I trusted that I was back to where I was, a couple of years before that. But at the end of the day, for me, I need to see results, just to prove that I am back to where I need to be. And that Boston start was, I think I said it was a lot of unanswered questions for me. So that was the start of something special, as far as going into the rest of this year.
Can you walk us back through, as an athlete, you're going to succeed, you're going to fail. It's all part, and no sport brings that out more than baseball, right? We talk about it all the time.
Right.
Was it as difficult as we would think it is to go through what you went through last year? Would you say, I know this is part of it, I know it didn't define me? What was it like physically, mentally, emotionally going through that a year ago?
Looking back now, I'm glad I went through it. But at the time, I know we were. There was a moment where we were packing up our apartment to head back down to AAA, and just told my wife, I don't know how much longer I can do this. To be honest, I worked my butt off every day just to try to get better, and it feels like I'm going backwards, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I told her, and it's I'm going to give this 2 more years, and if nothing changes, I'm going to find something else to do because this just isn't fun for me anymore. So that was a real conversation we had. And was it maybe emotions were a little high, maybe, but it was a real conversation we had. And, Driveline gets into the picture, and, Frenchie and I had a really good conversation, that I was his words that I was the future of this thing. So that kind of put in my mind that they had a plan in place. It wasn't, they sent me down to AAA. Just, we thought it was a good trade, but it didn't work out. So go to AAA. It wasn't that type of deal. So went to Driveline and really put in the work. And because, that was kind of my, if they can't figure this thing out, then I don't know what to do. So hopefully they'll have some answers, and they did. And I'm very thankful that I went there and figured all these problems out.
I'll speak on behalf of everybody here. So are we. For the
right, 100%. Yeah, no doubt.
What you said though, there, I think that can speak to people beyond baseball and beyond your own story. When you said, "Hey, this isn't fun for me," and I think a lot of people go through that professionally. There's times, I get to do things that people would say we would kill to have the opportunity to. All you get to do is talk about sports for a living, man. Like I got to go dig a ditch somewhere, right? But I go through those same things too. Did the lessons that you learned, like, do you find yourself saying, I need to make it so that it's not just success that drives whether or not I'm having fun, that I need to remind myself that I get to do this for a living? Like I feel like there's a mental health story there that probably goes beyond just being a pitcher or being a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was more of, results are great. But for me, on probably the simplest level, I wanted to show myself and everybody that I can still compete at the highest level and have a little bit of success. When you're getting knocked around every 5 days, it's not very fun. But if I can go out there and just give a competitive start and give my team a chance to win, like I could take that. And even going back to Tampa, where I only went 3 innings, gave up, 3 runs, like the results weren't there, but I knew deep down that, I felt great. My stuff was really good. I was just doing a little too much. Rather in the past, if that were to happen, I would completely shut down, negative thoughts, here we go again type of stuff. But it's just a completely different mental outlook for me. When I'm in between the lines. So that start in particularly was like, okay, I think all the work that I'm doing, I think I'm in a good spot because I wasn't, beating myself up over that.
Trevor Rogers is with us here on GCR. Of course, a big weekend for the Orioles this weekend as they're celebrating a new class of Orioles Hall of Famers, including the great Adam Jones, with an awesome bobblehead tomorrow night. It's an incredible night to be at the ballpark. Would encourage you to get out and check it out. Trevor, something jumps out to me. Everything you've been through here, there's this scene a couple of starts ago. You go 7 shutout innings and a big crowd on a Saturday night and a standing ovation. And I just wonder, like, how that hits you and resonates with you because I have no doubt, heard some of the other stuff last year, right? And fans are fickle, and it's part of it. But what does that moment mean to you to get that recognition of what you've done and the work that you've put in to be in this place?
Man, it was huge. I remember just looking around and everyone was on their feet and it was so loud. It was like, wow, they're applauding my performance, that I gave to the fans. And I almost tried to like slow down walking to the dugout just so I could take it in a little bit longer. And that's, I just had to make sure, I gave him a little wave, a tip of the cap, because, that was huge. And even before then, all the negativity I got, I used it as fuel, they just want to see their team win. I wasn't doing that. And then coming full circle and getting a standing O, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget that moment.
It was a special moment, man. It was really a special moment. I had noticed that you were fairly active on Instagram before you came to the Orioles, correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe you'd say it wasn't even you, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but
yeah,
I just wondered if like that was like part of it is because you were going through struggles. Did it have anything to do with why you stopped posting on? Maybe you say, dude, it had nothing to do with that at all. But it just happened to be an interesting timeline to me that I wondered about.
Yeah, it was more coming back that sophomore slump that I had. I had a really bad year. I wouldn't even say really bad year. It was a learning year for me.
Okay.
And that's kind of where the real, I guess, real social media came out. You know, everyone's high and mighty when you're doing well, and then the real part of it comes out when you're doing bad. So I just found myself after every start checking social media and
it's not good.
all that all that nonsense. So I just took it upon myself just to. I didn't delete it, but I somehow like locked myself out, so I can't even get back on there. I don't know how I did that, but it was a good decision on my part.
If you can figure out how you did it, and you could let me know, because I feel like it would be very good for my life if I could do the exact same thing. The most healthy thing I could do would be to lock myself out of social media.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know that the answer to this question is, hey, it's a business, and that's the way that it goes. But I wonder if what you said earlier about like your relationship with Frenchie and how the organization showed you that they had a plan, if that makes you think more about like a desire to want to be here long term. I get that it's not that easy. Like I do understand what I'm asking, that it's not that simplistic of a question, but does it make you think about that a little bit more? Like, hey, when things weren't going right, they showed that commitment. They worked with me through it. Does it make you think about maybe this is a place that I'd like to call home for a little bit longer?
Yeah, no doubt. Again, my wife and I had that conversation, and it was spotty there. It's like, man, I was in the big leagues for the whole year, and then now I'm not. So it's like, damn, life comes at you fast, right? And then we had that conversation, and I get back to where I know I could be, and the strength department, the pitching department, the whole staff, the organization has been, just unbelievable. All just coming together and having that goal in mind, and now we're finally here. And it's just really special for me to call Baltimore home, and like you said, it's a business. I would love to be here, but I can't control that at the end of the day. All I can do is just keep competing and helping this team win. And you never know what could happen, but Baltimore's been great, and I hope I get to call it home for a little bit longer rather than just next year.
Trevor Rogers, just another couple of minutes with him here on GCR. Trevor, how superstitious of a person are you? And is there a part of you that would almost not prefer to not talk about the success that you're finding right now?
Yeah, I've actually gotten a little bit better at that. I'm not really superstitious anymore. My wife and we actually have a pact. She wears these pair of pants she's worn probably my last 5 starts, and it's doing really well.
I mean, my God, they're the most important pants in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I need to make this. I don't know who your dry cleaner is, but we need those pants.
Yeah, especially when we're on the road. I'm like, you can't get any stains on those. It's going to be a bad look. But it's
Wait, hang on a second. Wait. If something happened and you were like out at lunch, and there was some like tomato sauce or something on the pants, would you tell her she still has to wear the pants at the ballpark?
I'd get her a little Tide stick. I'm like, do your best. You're bringing those. You're wearing them. I don't care.
That's awesome. That is so great.
Yeah.
Have you? So was it the same way when it was going the other way? Like if you have a bad start now, does it immediately become like burn the pants, or like do you say, all right, let's try it one more time and see how it goes?
Yeah. If we have a little bump in the road, I'm like, hey, let's try one more time. But I think after maybe back-to-back starts where it doesn't go so well, we might need to change the lineup.
Else.
Yeah,
it's time for something else. Wait, I don't know where you're doing. Are you at the ballpark, or are you at home right now?
I'm at home.
Is there any chance that we could see the pants? Is there any chance?
They want to see the pants.
I feel like everybody would love to see what the pants are because they're the most important pants in Baltimore.
Yeah, she's getting them.
Oh, this is awesome. This is tremendous. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate you putting up with our silliness. I really appreciate that. And I apologize because I'm on the other side of the studio, so I can't even see where you are. So that was why I was asking the question.
Here they are.
Oh my gosh, those are the pants.
Those are the pants.
Was it dumb luck that she happened to wear? So did this? What was the first start where she wore the pants?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Or Atlanta or Boston. And she recently got them, and she liked them. I just wear them to the game, and I had a good start, and then I think it was just by coincidence she wore them again.
So right, it was just on
for
luck.
Start day. Yeah, just on luck. And after that second start in a row that I did well, she was like, maybe it's the pants.
100%.
We're going to keep rocking them.
Your wife is a hero as well here. I want to make that abundantly clear. She is also a hero of the story.
Yep, 100%.
For recognizing this and saying we don't want to mess with it. Thank you. That was you did not need to do that. I appreciate you putting up with it. Trevor, obviously the season for the team has not gone the way that you guys wanted it to do. We do know that.
Yes.
There are people that would say, well, I'm worried. I think this team might be further away than we think they were. Clearly, we knew coming into the year, like this was a team that had World Series aspirations. What would you say to fans about what you know about this group? And I'm not writing off this year. Obviously, like it could be a great turn, and we're rooting for that. But what they should know about this group and what you guys are going to be able to do the rest of this year, next year, in order to get this thing figured out.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think we all realize that the saying you can't win the division in March and April, but you can lose it. I think, just the very slow start that we had, I just think it's been really tough for us to climb out of that hole. I think up to a certain point where we had one of the best records in baseball the second half. I'm not sure what it is now, but we were playing some really good baseball. But we still have like a really young, solid core. Gunner's going to be here for a while. Jackson, Westy, Adley, Mayo's finally getting his feet under him. So that solid young positional player core that we have, and even our bullpen, we got a lot of first-time guys that are getting their feet wet in the bullpen. That that experience is going to help us moving forward. And I think every single guy in that clubhouse isn't happy with where we are. And I think it's a good learning experience for everybody. That we don't want this to happen again next year. We knew what the expectations were, and we just didn't meet them this year. That's baseball. That's the game sometimes. And we're going to use it to get better. I put this lineup against every team in big league baseball, and I like our chances against anybody. It was unfortunate what happened, and that's just the way the game goes sometimes. But I really like where we're going to be in the future. It's easier said than done, turning it around. But I really like where we will be heading into the future.
I'm sure you've heard this from a lot of people, right? But I will tell you, Trevor, I was one of the people that was very loudly questioning the trade. All right, and I want to tell you that, and because we all say dumb things and we all get things wrong and we all make mistakes, and it's just awesome. It really is an awesome story, and I appreciate how open you are about what you went through, because I feel like for men in particular, we don't like being vulnerable, right? And I think that people hearing you talk about that goes a long way towards understanding, like, you're not alone. We all go through this. So I'm so appreciative of you using your voice that way, man. I think that's a powerful thing, and I'm obviously very appreciate of what you're doing right now.
Me too.
Right,
me too.
I imagine that's been a lot of fun for you. That part is tremendous. Trevor, seriously, congratulations on the season that you've been putting together, and we can't wait to see a lot more of it moving forward. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you to your wife for her commitment to what's going on. And we wish you nothing but health and success moving forward, and looking forward to doing this again down the road. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you having me.
That's Trevor Rogers. It's a great story, right? Like it's obviously it goes beyond baseball. There's something very human about struggle and how you handle it. And he's clearly handled it. And now the hope is you get this version of Trevor Rogers. You get this version of Trevor Rogers moving forward. You got a Cy Young candidate, obviously. It's just utterly insane how good this guy has been of late. So thank you to Trevor Rogers for taking the time for us. Can we grab a break? You tell me.
Let's keep going.
All right. We'll take breaks on Tuesday.
When we're dead.
Yes, we can break when we're dead. Today's show is also brought to you by the Maryland 5-Star. Tickets are on sale right now for the 2025 Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill. It's back this October. It's the 5th edition of the Maryland 5-Star. If you have never been, this is absolutely the year to go. It is not just a world-class sporting event, which it is, the Triple Crown of Equestrian. It is also a true celebration of the fall in the state of Maryland with the Corgi Cup, the Food and Wine Festival, and everything that you could possibly want from a fall event in our region. Maryland5star.us with the number 5. Maryland5star.us for you to get your tickets for the 2025 Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill. All right, we switch gears as we continue along here on a Friday edition of the program. Our next guest was in College Park, I believe, on Monday, checking out practice, and you saw on the Big Ten Network their training camp show. And one of the things I saw him talking about was the it factor of one of Maryland's quarterbacks. Joining us now, former NFL tight end, former University of Michigan tight end, Big Ten Network analyst. He's Jake Butt, and he is with us here on GCR. Jake, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you again, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll tell you what, Maryland and Coach Locks were good to me. Every time I've spent time in D.C., it's been like 100 degrees and 100% humidity. So I was nervous to have to do television, but we actually got a nice day. It was low 70s, low humidity.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, right? Yeah. That just means it's, we call it false fall here in this area. In the Mid-Atlantic, we say I
was grateful to have it for that day that I was there.
Yeah, and then next week it's going to be like Satan's taint around here. That's the way it goes. Jake, I was really interested. I've known Malik Washington for years. I have a job actually at Archbishop Spalding, and he came on my radar 4 years ago, and there was something really special about this kid. And I know he didn't get to practice the day that you were there, but what you were talking about to me is what impresses me way more about him, which is you have a conversation with this young man, and you feel like you're talking to a corporate leader, like someone that could represent your company. I know it's an awful lot to ask for a true freshman, even one as talented as him, to go get him in the Big Ten. But do you feel like he could be ready to do this if ultimately he's the one that wins this competition for Maryland?
That's the big challenge here, because when we were at practice, and we only get to see one practice per team, so there's not a lot of context, and some guys are injured. Malik didn't practice when we were out there. Isaiah Wright wasn't practicing. So that's the context here. But we got to speak with him after practice, and everything you said, I would absolutely back up, and Dave Repson, our host, would back it up as well. I just came away right away. I'm like, this guy's a freshman? I was just blown away by the way he carries himself, by his intelligence, charisma, clear leadership traits. And I don't think the goal or the conversation should be, hey, Malik, go lead us to eight wins, or hey, Malik, this season's going to be, on your shoulders fully. I think they're saying, hey, we got a young kid that's really, really talented. And this is what I will say, is that practice, the other two guys that were competing, I didn't see anything to indicate that either of those two quarterbacks deserve the starting job. It was an inconsistent day. So if that's the truth, then you have to go with your talented, highly rated freshman. And the thing is about Coach Locksley and Pep Hamilton and Maryland, I look at them in a sense like a miniature Ohio State in terms of wide receiver development and passing game. They consistently put out high quality wide receiver play. They put guys into the NFL, and they have complex, mature passing concepts. So with all that in mind, that lends to be very favorable for the young quarterback in Malik Washington. And those first 3 out of conference games, I think that's another hint to say, man, let's get our young freshman in here against a favorable out of conference schedule where he can take those reps and then hopefully be able to make some splashes in conference play.
I talked to Coach DiNardo about it the other day, and he said, look, you have to be able to block out all the other stuff and just pick your quarterback based on who gives you the best chance to win. And I know from a coach's perspective what he's saying. But, Jake, this is 2025 in a completely different era of college sports. How much do you also have to measure we want this guy to be here past this year? We want, I feel like that part of it can't be ignored when you're making a decision like this.
Right. So, but then you can't predict the future regardless.
Yeah.
It's impossible to predict the future. And I think one thing that stood out is Malik said one of the things he's most excited for is that his family's going to get to see him play. Like, he's from the area.
Yep.
And his family matters to him, so they can watch him play. And once again, Locksley has a long track record of saying, hey, look at what I've done with my receiver play. They've had, I think it's 4 straight years that Maryland has had a top 3 passing offense in the Big Ten. That's important. And I think the other keys, though, and this is something else that matters, is, man, they need to protect their quarterbacks better.
No doubt.
I mean, we saw Talia get injured. Billy Edwards was, I would cringe watching the film sometimes because he was taking some serious shots. The last thing you want to do is have your young freshman get hit. And I felt like the offensive line looked bigger. They looked closer to a Big Ten offensive line. That's going to be the other key here.
Jake Butt, Big Ten Network, with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Jake, we allude to what happened a year ago. Obviously, it was very deflating for a program that had 3 straight bowl wins and had some momentum built up, at a job that's almost impossible to do given what you're up against in the Big Ten. Do you write it off as, hey, things can go wrong in 1 year and it's not the story? Or do you wonder if, hey, this is what happens when they don't have a rock star quarterback? Like, that, if without that, there's no way for Maryland to compete. They're going to be a 4-8 type of team any year. They don't have a stud difference-making quarterback.
It's a good question. And this is, the context matters, because that's obviously the conversation is, hey, what does Locksley have to do this year? Is he on the hot seat? And, I would say, what are the expectations? I mean, seriously, no offense. It's
Jake, you don't have to say no offense. This is one of the biggest conversations we have every day. This is Maryland football we're talking about.
And, you think back to the history of, hey, if Maryland, where would they be if they stayed in the ACC? Now you join the Big Ten, and they're in the Big Ten East for so many of these years where they have to play Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State every single year. I mean, good luck. Seriously, good luck. But these things take time, and you can look at some key factors to say, hey, Locksley has recruited well. Right now, you got the number 1 player in high school, right, or maybe the highest rated recruit in the history of Maryland committed to Coach Locksley. And I'd say quarterback aside, I don't know that they need a star quarterback. I think they've had good enough quarterbacks to win. Billy Edwards was a good enough quarterback. Ty Felton, Roman Hemby, I really thought he was talented. To me, it's the trenches that make the biggest difference. That's where they've been lacking. The defense just simply wasn't good enough last year. There was no identity. There was nothing that you turned on the film and said, wow, this team is playing inspired. Those are the key areas that really are important to Maryland's success.
You reference that they have those 3 non-conference games. The other thing that's interesting about this year's schedule is no Penn State, no Ohio State, no Oregon. And that doesn't mean that it's Cupcake City, right? Because we all know Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, those are good teams. But unlike what had been true for most of the years that Maryland has been in the Big Ten, where they were in the East and it was just overwhelming, it's not maybe that. Is there a path to your point, maybe you do go with Malik Washington, you get some positive vibes going. Is there a path that maybe the schedule could help set up for them to start feeling their way into being competitive this year?
Well, you have to win those first 3 games. I mean, that is just like a given. And there's the, juxtaposition of you're starting a young freshman and you don't want to say, hey, Malik, we need you to win these 3 games for us. But that's kind of the predicament we're at here. NIU is not that's not a guaranteed win. We saw them beat Notre Dame last year. I mean, even FAU traditionally has good athletes, and they're dangerous for some of the way they construct their roster. And then Wisconsin, that Week 4 game, it's on the road at Wisconsin. That program is in a strange position as well. Like could you sneak that one? I don't know, but I think Washington's good. You host Washington at home. You host Nebraska at home. Like those first 3 games, and then you go on the road to UCLA. Like those, so you got Wisconsin, Washington, Nebraska, UCLA. You got to win at least one of those.
Yeah.
You got to ideally you probably have to win 2 of those. But gosh, I mean, I don't know. You're going down the schedule. There's outside of the out of conference, there's not a single week where Maryland's going to come in and say, "Yeah, we got this one." I think every
no
single
doubt, right.
week Maryland's saying, "Hey, we got to play at our best just to have a chance against a lot of these teams."
Jake, obviously you're the tight ends guy. We didn't know a lot about him when he transferred in, but everyone has been raving about Dorian Fleming. Did you get much of a chance to look at him while you were there on Monday? What did you know about him coming in? And do you feel like he has the opportunity to maybe step up and be a difference maker for this team?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know much about him, but immediately I stood out and even in walkthroughs, I was like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, he reminds me of Corey Dyches, probably a bigger, stronger. And Corey Dyches.
We take that, by the way. Yeah, right. We take
yes.
it.
Well, and then even Locke said, "How about Irv Smith?" From back at Alabama, and it's like, okay, I see that too. Like he's got that type of body type. He's more of a move tight end and F tight end. He's going to be a tough matchup for nickels or linebackers or safeties. And that'll help a young quarterback too, just having a big friendly target. So I do think he has a chance to be special, and they'll need him to be.
Jake, we have a good relationship with Coach Biff. We have a relationship with Derek Moore. I got some St. Francis connections. I would imagine that based on what they did at the end of last year and all of the tumult that they had been through leading up to that point, that you are fairly confident that Michigan has kind of righted the ship again and they can get back. Obviously, they got much better offensively, but that they're back into the picture this year.
Yeah. I would say they're taking strides,
okay.
But righted the ship. It remains to be seen because to me, it's how you define it. And I think righted the ship means, Michigan, they liked winning 3 straight Big Ten championships and they liked competing for national titles. And I'd say right now, I think the defense, particularly the defensive line, the linebackers, okay, that's a Michigan core of your defense. I question their cornerback depth. I like their starters, but, one injury, what could that potentially derail the season? And then offensively, I think they've taken strides once again. Like the offensive line should be better. But are they going to be an offensive line that can compete for the Joe Moore Award? I think that was something that was consistent with Michigan's success. Okay, they upgraded the wide receiver room. Does upgrade mean they're a top 5 wide receiver room, or does it mean they're right about average in the Big Ten? That remains to be seen. And then you got this young quarterback, Bryce Underwood, who's clearly talented. The offense can't get worse, okay? So it will get better. The question really is how much better? That's ultimately going to decide whether we say, okay, Michigan righted the ship this year or if it's going to take some more time.
And then give me one team in the Big Ten that we're not talking about enough, and we should.
I like Nebraska.
Okay.
I like Nebraska. Even Washington, I would say. I think Jed Fish is Jamon Williams, their quarterback out there. He's going to make a big-time splash in the conference this year.
He is Jake Butt. Jake, where are you guys headed next?
I'm off for the weekend, so I'm back. My wife and I moved here in the city, so we're getting settled in the house. I'll pick up back next week, Monday, at Iowa.
Excellent. What else can we plug for you? I know it's JBooty88, correct?
Yep, I'm all over social media. If you just search my name, I've been doing a bunch of posts of different teams wherever we went for practice. So follow me on social. Happy to interact with everybody.
Jake, appreciate you taking the time for us, man. Thanks so much for doing this morning. We'd love to do it more during the season if that's all right.
Cool. Absolutely. Anytime.
Jake
Take it
Butt,
easy.
Big Ten Network with us here on GCR. When we come back in, a really intriguing prospect that the Orioles brought in at the deadline. We'll talk to Anthony Nunez next on GCR.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smoke profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green, and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Friday edition of the program, and it's time for us to meet one of the newest prospects into the Orioles system. He is currently with the Norfolk Tides, acquired by the Birds in the Cedric Mullins trade with the Mets, and a really interesting story about his path to this point. He is Anthony Nunez, and he's with us now here on GCR. Anthony, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking some time for us.
Yeah, of course, Glenn. Thank you for having me.
I know that you're probably sick of talking about it because it's interesting to everybody, but the background for you, playing third base, did you always know that, like, hey, man, if I wanted to, I could just go right back to pitching? Like, what is the story on all that?
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I love sharing my testimony. So, you know, I always knew I had a pretty decent arm, and I always wanted to, mess around with pitching, honestly, when I was in college and even in high school. I never had the opportunity. It never came up because I was doing okay hitting and playing third base. And it's just got open the right door for me to be able to start pitching and had me throw in front of the right people and help me get to where I'm at now.
Were you always confident? Did you need to see results? Did you need to walk me through that part of it? Were you comfortable? I just know. I know no matter what, I'm going to be able to do this.
I mean, it was all about trusting, my athleticism when it came to when I first started pitching. Just being able to trust my arm, move high, move, and just try to throw it in the zone. Just being able to develop into what I am today, working every day on pitch shapes, on execution, and just trusting myself.
All right, so now I think the $1 million question is, what would happen, let's say there's and I know that the new era of baseball kind of takes out these crazy scenarios because you don't play 17-inning games anymore, but you've used a bunch of pinch hitters, somebody gets hurt. Hey, Nunez, we need you to go over and play third base. What would that look like at this point in your life?
I think I'd be okay playing third base. I think I can hold my own there, but I think if you put me in the box right now and I haven't seen a pitcher in probably a year,
it might not go so well.
It would. I think I'd have to lay a bunt down.
We can live with that. We can live with that. Anthony, so walk me through. You get the news obviously last week. Was it shocking? Was it, mildly surprising? Did you know it could be in play based on where you were? Like a lot of people brought up, headed towards Rule 5. Did you know that it was possible? And walk me through, arriving in a new organization and what those emotions are like.
Yeah, it's always in play, no matter who you are. When it comes to the trade deadline, there's always a chance you'll be moved. I was prepared for it mentally. I didn't think it was going to happen, but you always have to be prepared for that to happen. And the Orioles have welcomed me with open arms, and I'm having a great time here. And it's just being able to adjust to all the new guys and all the new faces, still learning names, and just trying to get better every day and do what I can to help the team win.
He is Anthony Nunez of the Norfolk Tides, and he is with us here on GCR. You had been finding success clearly out of the bullpen. The idea, I know you got your first save, right, at the AAA level. Do you feel like closing, that is something that is your part of your story, that you can do that? It takes a special breed. I'm sure you know this. You got to be a certain type of psycho to be the ninth inning guy. Do you feel like that can be your story?
I mean, I'd love to. Any way I can help the team win, that's what I'm there for. But I love the adrenaline of being in there late games and closing the game out. I love the idea of that, and I love every opportunity I get to showcase that.
You seem like such a level-headed young man. I referenced that every great reliever that I've ever known has to go to a different place when they come into a game. Do you have are you as even keel level-headed when you pitch, or do you have to psych yourself up and maybe go a little bit crazy as you come into a game?
I try to stay as level-headed as possible. Everybody's going to have a bad game every once in a while. I'm just trying to limit those to as rare of an occasion as possible. Just being able to, attack hitters and get outs as soon as possible is what I try to do when I'm in there. And no matter the situation, I'm still trying to do the same thing. I'm not trying to, do more just because it's a higher leverage situation.
Your best pitch?
It depends. It could be the changeup or the sweeper. I'm not really 100% sure on that. You'd have to ask the hitters.
So I was going to say, what's the one that if we did the math, what do you think is the one that you've gone to the most for a strikeout?
I'd say over the last couple of months, I'd say it's maybe the changeup. I think it's going to be 50-50 with the changeup and the sweeper, honestly.
Okay. Has it always been that way, or are those pitches that maybe one has developed a little bit more for you as you've made the progression through the system?
Yeah, when I first started pitching, I'd say it was the changeup for sure. And then early in my pro career, it was a slider, and then I think this year, for a good part of the year, it's been both.
So the like you do you find yourself when you're coming into a game having like you script out, here's how I think I'm going to approach each batter. I know it's a little bit different in the minors than it is in the bigs, where there's prolonged and couldn't be more data that's given to you. But do you find yourself scripting out like at bat, like here's where I want to start, this is how I want to set up this at bat, or is it truly different for every batter that you face?
I think it depends on who I'm facing and when I'm coming in. I definitely have caught myself already having a 3-pitch plan going into the at bat. Best case scenario in my head, it would be like, let's say I'm throwing a fastball here, off of that I'll throw the changeup and then maybe a backdoor sweeper, and I'll play that out in my head and just thinking like, if the best case scenario is a 3-pitch strikeout. But,
right? It's over.
These hitters are really good. They're really good. So sometimes we have to go off the plan, but I definitely catch myself having those plans in my head.
You know, it's funny you bring all that up, because I feel like this is you have to think that way, right? Like you have to have that type of plan. Are you a visualization type of person? Like imagine it and then just go do it.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. I'm envisioning what I'm throwing, where I'm throwing it, and how I have to move to throw it that way. And just, like I said, trusting myself and trusting my stuff to be able to execute them and get guys out.
Did you know anybody in the Orioles system, Anthony? Like when you got the word that it was going to be the Orioles, was there anybody who said, "Oh man, I'm going to get to reconnect with so and so"? And I know you've already made like a brief stint at Bowie before you ended up back with Norfolk. But was there anybody at all that you had connected with?
Yeah, I actually had a former Met teammate that was traded in the Gregory Soto trade a week before me, or a couple days before me. I was reconnected with him here in Norfolk, and also I played with Kobe Mayo and Enrique Bradfield growing up, so that was pretty
Florida,
cool to be able to be in the
that
same.
makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought about that at all, right? Like, so how close were you? Like, obviously there's a South Florida thing there, but like, how long have you known Kobe?
I've known Kobe and Bradfield since I was 10 years old.
Wow.
We played on the same travel ball team growing up.
Wow, that's cool, man. Like, that's really, really cool. Were you guys? Had you guys stayed in touch over the years, either Kobe or Enrique?
Yeah, we have for sure. I wouldn't say it's a super close relationship, just because we've been
at different places,
on our own journeys and working in different places and different times. But we've definitely have stayed in touch. Funny story is that Kobe actually gave me my nickname, which is Noonie. From my last name Nunez, so it's a funny story I tell everybody.
That's cool. That's really okay. So did you know? Okay, this is gonna go crazy. I want to take you back to 10. You're 10 years old. You're hanging out with those guys. Did you have like the idea that like you guys were really this good and could really do this, and the story might play out? Because now the way that I'm thinking about it, this is like an amazingly cool baseball story. That here all three of you guys are doing it. Kobe's already at the highest level, and you guys are knocking on the door of the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we were good for 10-year-olds at least.
Right.
Like we always, we were a good team, and we were winning tournaments and stuff. Obviously, you never know you're going to get to this level. You can only dream it. Bradfield and I last week and Bowie were actually talking about how out of all the people that were on that team that we were so good growing up, we were probably the two that were least expected to make it to where we are now, and it's cool. It's cool to see how things progress and how God works in our lives.
You get you versus Mayo, one at bat, right? And it's hypothetical because obviously, or maybe it's in spring training next year. How you getting him out?
I have no idea. I have to check the scouting report.
All right.
I haven't done too much homework on him yet.
That's fair, and hopefully we won't have to worry about that in an actual game situation. Hopefully that'll never be the case, because you guys will be teammates for forever, man. But what an amazing story that is, right? Like, have you, thought about? Have you heard from anybody back home that's already started thinking about like the idea of you all being in the bigs together?
Yeah, my mom is. When I first got traded, she was sending me pictures of us playing in tournaments together growing up. She's been thinking about that for a little bit
Dude,
already.
that's so cool, man. I can't get over this. Like, what an amazing story that is. Like, what are the odds of that being the case? I feel like it's got to be like 1 in a billion, something like that could work out that way. That would be so incredibly special. Anthony, obviously, I don't want to age you, right? Like, you're certainly not, you're still only 24, but do you start to feel that, like, the clock's tick. I need to be ready because I could be called upon at any moment right now, and that time could be there for me?
I'm just ready for whatever, the team has for me. I'm working hard every day, just attacking every day, one day at a time, and, taking it step by step, being where my feet are. I'm not really thinking ahead. I'm just thinking of right now. Like I said, it's just, trusting God's plan and being able to do what I can do and have fun playing the game.
I respect that, man. All right, well, what do we need to know about you away from baseball, right? Like, obviously, your faith is very important to you. We can tell that. But what you get, like a Friday night outside of the season, what would you get into? What other sports do you play? What video games, music, movie? What makes Anthony Nunez go other than baseball?
Yeah, for sure. My faith. It's my number one thing in everything I do. It's my identity, and baseball is not my identity, but my faith. I'd say other than that, I like to golf. I wouldn't say I'm good, but I definitely go out there and try my best.
I appreciate that.
And I also
it's probably the only
big
sport
into
that
collecting
humbles you
sports
more than
cards.
baseball does, right? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. For sure, you can't have high expectations going into
no
to the
doubt.
links.
And then what else did you say?
Yeah,
I apologize.
I like to collect.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. Sports cards. I like to collect sports cards.
Oh, cool.
Younger prospects coming up, and I like to collect my teammates that I played with as well.
Do you get them to sign them?
I do. I like to resell cards, so the ones that they sign for me, I keep for myself, and I'll never sell those. But I like to, like the younger guys that I'm investing on per se. It's really more of a hobby, honestly. I'm not doing
that's
it
cool.
To make a profit.
That's cool, man.
But I do it so I can get new cards and keep a rotation going.
What's the card that like is either your most cherished possession or the one that like when you got it you were so excited about it because you knew you were going to be able to sell it?
Yeah, I just got it a couple of days ago. I don't have it in my hands yet because it was shipped to Binghamton before I got traded. But it's a Francisco Lindor's first card.
Wow.
That he got in Pro Ball. So that one, I got that one signed.
Dude, that's cool. So you're that one's one for you, or is that one that you're selling?
We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I bought it on eBay, so we'll see. We'll see how it's looking and what I can do with it.
That's cool, man. That's really cool to hear that you're into the hobby, man. I think there's a lot of baseball fans that are like, oh wow, he's just like us.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. Anthony, are you on social media anywhere that Orioles fans can be giving you a follow?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And what's the handle?
So for Instagram, it's @ANT__Nuni, NUNY. On Twitter, I don't even know my Twitter username. I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing. And then for TikTok, I believe it's Anthony__Nunez.
Very good. Give him a follow in all of those locations. You can see, is that did you guys win was it D2 title at Tampa?
Yep.
Rocking the trophy, which is very cool. And if you're headed down that way to the Tidewater area this weekend, check out the Norfolk Tides as they are at home tonight. Filipino-American Heritage Night. This weekend, also some post-game fireworks. Navy Night, which is always a big deal down there in Norfolk, as well as Virginia 811 Day, Cinema Cafe Sunday, all that coming up this weekend with the Tides. Anthony Nunez, so great to meet you. I can't help but think about how special of a story this is going to be when all three of you are here at some point, hopefully next year, and how special that's going to be. Congratulations. May success continue for you, and thank you for spending time with us this morning, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. God bless you guys.
It's Anthony Nunez. Dude, how cool is that? I get so lost in these little silly things, but imagine that. You're a baseball player. Imagine You're 10 years old, and you and your buddies are playing baseball, and somebody tells you, hey, by the way, 13, 14 years from now.
Imagine playing against them.
Oh, right. Well, what has he said? That's the crazy part. He's like, well, Enrique and I were. But like, imagine that, man. What an amazing story that is. That the three of them have a genuine chance to all end up playing not just Major League Baseball, but like potentially together. And I know Anthony Nunez's story is a little bit complicated because he's Rule 5 eligible, so the Orioles need to kind of figure. That's why I would think that he's going to maybe even get a Major League look before too long, because they got to figure out if they need to protect him. But man, what a cool story that would be. That's just that's a neat baseball thing. Appreciate him taking the time for us. All right, when we come back in, we'll do a quick version of This Week in the Rest of Baseball. We'll get a tidbit and two to wind things down for a Friday edition of GCR.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantopoulos family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, the PGA Tour's best are coming to Maryland. The 2025 BMW Championship tees off August 12th through 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills. See the top 50 players battle it out in the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Don't miss your chance to witness world-class golf, fan experiences, and unforgettable moments. Tickets are on sale now at BMWChampionship.com. The BMW Championship, where legends take the lead.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at driveeasymd.com.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Want to improve your golf game or learn to play for the first time? The Baltimore Golf Academy has fun, instructional programs for the beginner golfer to everyday players. The Baltimore Golf Academy can take your game to the next level. Enroll today at baltimoregolfacademy.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR. Somebody just sent this to me. I didn't even catch it when Trevor Rogers said. Did he really say he wasn't really that superstitious before he told the story?
Yeah, he did. He was like, I've gotten better at it, and then he was like, but also my wife never.
But
gave
that's
me a
like
chance.
that's an amazing way. No, guys, I'm not even superstitious, but
there's this pair of pants.
If she. Okay, can I tell us? When I was in Vegas for the Backstreet Boys show, they were doing a bit about how they wanted everybody to wear all white, right, for like all these Vegas shows. So my buddy, Aaron Oster, had messaged me the week before. He said, hey, man, are we going to do the all white thing for the Backstreet Boys show? And I said, you got it, right? So I had a button-down white shirt, but I still wanted to be Vegas because it's hot. So I wasn't going to go at it was a short-sleeve Under Armour button-down white shirt with a white T-shirt on underneath. And I brought the dunks that Tyus Bowser gave me a couple years ago.
Go with everything, yeah.
Obviously white socks, and I have this sort of like Hawaiian white floral pattern pair of shorts. And I brought them all out there. I didn't have a white belt. I could only find like a cream-colored belt, but I figured, and I was going to wear my shirt untucked anyway, so I was doing it. Like, I was doing it up. I wake up on Sunday morning, and I look at the shorts, and there's this really small, unnoticeable stain on the back of my shorts. But because it's on the back of my shorts, it sort of looks like, who is the Barstool guy that pooped his pants?
Was that Jersey
Jerry,
Yeah,
correct.
Jerry,
It's sort of like that guy, right? But I didn't actually poop my pants. But if you, thank you. I assure you.
Nice save.
I assure you, if you saw the stain, you would be like, "There's no way." I don't know what it was, but because of the placement, and when I say you couldn't, it was,
I think it was this guy.
It's a sad day. It's a
that
bad
guy,
day.
yeah, that guy, right? I don't know anything about the guy.
Nailed it.
That's the only thing I'll ever know about him is he's the guy that pooped his pants. That's literally the entire thing. The stain was like yay big, like between, if you look there, like that was the size of the stain.
Okay.
But because of the location, I'm like, well, that's not good. Like if that stain was
you
on
might be able
the
to get away with it.
The stain was on the side of the shorts, I'd be like, who cares, right? Like, so I wake up Sunday morning and now I'm like, Aaron, I need help. You got like a Tide stick. You got like I do a load of laundry, hoping that it would get rid of the stain's not coming out. And I just say, hey, you know what? I don't think anybody's going to notice it. And I assure you no one noticed it. It was unnoticeable. But if they do, I'm just going to say it's Vegas. I pooped my pants. Deal with it.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Deal with it. It's Vegas.
That's what everyone does in Vegas?
That's the way it works. I've had a week. But I do love the fact that Trevor Rogers said, if she stains the pants, I don't care. She has to wear the pants. After saying he wasn't superstitious. That is a tremendous combination of scenarios to have played out. Today's show is also brought to you by the print issue of Press Box. We're just about a week away from this being gone and being replaced by a brand new print issue of Press Box, which will be hitting newsstands. But you can still get that one. Carmelo Anthony on the cover, Baltimore's first ever basketball Hall of Famer. We profile how the city of Baltimore shaped his legendary career. It's also our annual travel issue. There's still a few weeks left in summer, still events that you can participate in, still places you can travel to. Go find all of that right now. Your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Pressbox. Read it all, PressBoxOnline.com for that print issue of Pressbox. Let's do this.
This week,
In the rest of
baseball.
TWIB is brought to you this week by County Sports Zone, countysports.zone. We are just a couple of weeks away from the start of high school sports season, and they will have every score, every team, every sport, everywhere in the state. Countysports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Yes?
There it is. Oh, no, that's not the piece we want. Sorry. I had the wrong one. I had the wrong one playing. Hold on.
All right, then.
We're going to be saved.
Glad we took care of it. This is like when the guy couldn't find the studio and derailed the start of the show.
Yeah, this week in the rest of baseball. So I guess if we just want to look around, it seems like the Padres have been benefiting the most from their trade deadline acquisitions. Biggest impact, at least. Mason Miller obviously had a save earlier this week. He did give up a game-tying home run to Lourdes Gurriel.
Yep.
They ended up winning that game, large part because Ramon Laureano helped come through with some big hits earlier in the game and later in the game. So Ramon Laureano's been unbelievable. He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball for the past week. So he's there, and then Ryan O'Hearn came through with his first Padres home run as well, a game-tying ninth-inning homer the other night. So yeah, Padres seem to have won the trade deadline for now. Andrew Kittredge had an interesting week. I believe he had an outing where I think he didn't record an out. and so they were booing him off of
Oh,
off
good.
the field.
Oh, good.
And then he came back on Wednesday, threw an immaculate inning.
How about that?
So Andrew
That's kinda
Kittredge
wild.
threw an immaculate inning for the Cubs. Those are the big highlights for post Oriole. Cedric Mullins has unfortunately struggled a little bit with the Mets,
it's a bummer.
as the Mets actually almost got no hit the other night.
Well, it was in the afternoon. It was the same day the Orioles. It was Wednesday.
Yes.
The Orioles played in the afternoon, and the Orioles game ends, and Griffin's like, "Oh, hey,
Yeah, Gavin Williams.
Gavin Williams is throwing a no-hitter going to the 9th inning, and I've got my MLB TV account, so I can pull it up." And I'm like, "All right, we'll watch it." And then Griffin decides he doesn't really want to watch. I guess.
I was just gonna listen in the car.
And so
Really
like
watch the Orioles play.
I'm actually now
Baseball
kind of
nights.
excited. I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna get to see the no-hitter," and I swear to God, as I look up, Juan Soto cranks the home run to center
home
field.
run. Threw the most pitches in a game so far.
It
this
was
season.
117.
Well, that was that. If he had stopped at 117, yeah, and then I think they left him in there to 126 because
126
because they put the next runner on after Soto, so they were like, "Yeah, we gotta pull him." So he went 8 2/3.
Oh, I definitely turned the game off. I did not
Yeah.
realize they didn't pull him after the home run.
Yeah, no, they had to bring in, I don't know, they brought in somebody else and he threw like 3 pitches to end the game. The Blue Jays had a pretty the Blue Jays enjoyed their trip to the Rockies as they took on the Colorado Rockies. They had 63 hits in their 3-game series with the Rockies. They also scored 45 runs. 63 hits is the most hits by any team over a 3-game span since 1933, when the New York Giants had 66 hits. in a
Definitely
single
seems
series.
good.
Yeah. So Toronto
You're
destroyed.
saying reports of the Blue Jays' demise have been exaggerated.
Yes. That I think that would be appropriate. The Brewers first team to 70. Was it yesterday or Wednesday? Whatever. This week they reached 70 wins, so they're the first team to 70. And it seems like those two might be the hottest in baseball right now. Toronto and
Well, it hadn't been Toronto. Obviously, they had struggled with the Orioles,
they struggled with the Orioles,
right?
But then that was really because did they bounce back that week? They looked really, but it was coming into the Orioles series they still were because they had swept the Yankees and for like the first time in Toronto.
Yeah, but the Yankees just stink.
That's
they're,
true. The
they're
Yankees
just
do
not
really
good at
suck.
baseball.
More base running errors. I think we did touch on it earlier in the week. But yeah, more base running errors for as Jazz Chisholm did. Yeah, we did talk about that one, right?
Mhm.
Well, Jazz Chisholm just decided not to go back to first base on a
Nah.
lazy pop fly.
Yeah, why not?
Roman Anthony, we're staying on the AL East, I guess. Roman Anthony got his extension done with the Red Sox, I should say, got their extension done with Roman Anthony. An 8-year, $130 million deal the day before the Orioles announced that they're upping their season ticket prices.
Must be nice.
So good for the Red Sox. We will have the first woman to umpire
that's
in
cool.
Major League
Or
Baseball.
umpire, yeah.
Yes. Jen Powell will be working 3 games, I believe, this weekend for Atlanta. They have a doubleheader on Saturday, and then I think she's going to be behind the plate on Sunday.
That's cool.
So Jen Powell will be the first woman to umpire a regular season baseball game. And then I don't know if you saw this. So the Portland Pickles.
Yeah, what is the? I didn't give this any attention because it
I wasn't
seems
giving it,
fake as hell.
It seems fake to me as well, but they were having a lot of fun with it, and I'm not sure. I couldn't.
So the story is that they what they are an independent team.
Yeah, they're in the West Coast League. And they're it's some independent league here.
I'm trying to think of
like
because Hagerstown's not. Are they an independent league or do they? They're independent, yeah, right? They're independent, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. Because are they Atlantic League? Is Hagerstown Atlantic League?
I think that's right. Yes.
Let's see.
Hang on a second.
Hagerstown. The flying boxcars are Atlantic League. They're
Correct.
Atlantic League. I have the class. There's a young fan named Dixie who apparently is just a fan. I mean, I guess
just a fan.
I'm sure he's got
right?
baseball in his background, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
they allegedly picked a random fan because they're an independent league team and they're celebrating some sort of anniversary this year. Is that the story?
I believe so. Yeah.
You're the host of This Week in the Rest of Baseball, Griffin. You're the one
to-
presenting the story.
A totally random Pickles fan in Portland, Oregon.
And they said you can come play in the game.
Yes, he's wearing shorts. Like it's very.
It looks beer league softball.
Right. And they throw a pitch to him, and I think he had 2 at bats. Yeah. He had, this was like his second at bat, and I mean, I guess I'll do You want to hear the audio? We'll see how.
I mean,
see how up and up.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to give this more attention or not.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know.
This was my big get on.
Yeah, I don't like hack bits. That's the problem, right?
Well, let's
like,
pretend it's real then. It's real. This is a real bit.
It's not a real. I don't think it is a real
Here's
bit.
Dixie.
Okay.
Payoff pitch. High fly ball. Left center field. Are you kidding me? 4 letters, 1 word.
Allegedly, this random fan who was chosen to play in a game as part of some sort of promotion they're doing to celebrate their
fan appreciation. Is that what
but
they're
it's
doing?
I think it's related to an anniversary. You're the host of This Week in the Rest of Baseball, jerk.
You're doing great over there, though.
But allegedly,
reading stuff.
This fan was picked at random, gets in, plays for this team against this other independent league team, and hits a home run. And I'm just really struggling with that because it feels more like a how are we going to get some attention type of thing. And they're getting it. Like, they're certainly getting it. I don't know how it could be on the up and up. Is it completely impossible they just happened to choose this guy? I don't know. It just does not feel like it's possible. It's clearly this guy's a baseball player of some sort.
Yeah. They said he got a contract with the Pickles afterwards. So
Sure.
He was a college player. Okay, he was a college player. I'm trying to figure out where his more of his background here. Old Dixie.
Yeah. Dixie D'Amelio, right?
No, this is different Dixie.
Different Dixie?
It's different Dixie. He plays
You're not as
Eli
much-
Steinhaus.
Oh,
and he
Eli.
played for Lewis and Clark College, D3.
Sure did.
So
I mean, look, man, I'm a cynic, right? Like I
I know you
acknowledge
are, yeah.
that, but this smells really fishy, dude. Really, really fishy.
I mean, maybe he tried. Maybe he just asked really hard. Like he was persistent. He asked really hard. He was persistent in trying to get this at bat. Apparently, it was just fan appreciation. Like that's
There's no anniversary. I thought I saw there was something about an anniversary. All right.
But
believe
yeah,
it.
that was the biggest story in baseball this week.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
was Dixie hitting
Dixie.
the fan appreciation home run
Sure.
for all the fans out there.
Sure.
And that was
stinks to high heaven.
No way.
Stinks.
It's big.
Stinks. No way. No freaking
All right,
way, man.
I mean, I know you don't like to have fun, but
It's a setup. Well, I don't know what the setup is. I don't know if it's that.
I know. What are they?
They
what
had
are
decided to have.
Oh, so what? Okay, more people are talking about the Portland Pickles.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, why is that mad? Why
and
does
it's
that make you
not
upset?
legitimate baseball. It's unfair to say it's not legitimate. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, you think the pitcher was in on it? Like they told this other team
I
they're
don't
competing
know.
in a league
I
against
don't-
each other.
Yes, I don't know if the pitch was grooved. I don't know. What I know is that
Didn't look grooved.
Is that it? Can we wrap up? We got to go. It's 12:25.
All right, yeah, we can wrap up.
Let's wrap up. That's This Week in the Rest of Baseball. Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, the best place to watch all of the UFC fights and all the big boxing fights as well is Inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel.
Let's go with this one. I was gonna. Hold on, did I miss any? Okay, yeah. Oh, we had yesterday. There was a 17 pitch at bat with Nathaniel Lowe, and
How did it end?
He ended up striking out.
That's what an anticlimactic.
Most pitches in a plate appearance since the 2021 ALDS when Eduardo Rodriguez was facing Austin Meadows. Also 17 pitches. Also ended in a strikeout.
Well, how about that?
Back in the 2021 ALDS. The last time, the longest at bat in the regular season since 2020. So maybe does this one not count then? In your eyes?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Matt Wieters saw 19 pitches.
Who was he with in 2020?
I believe it was Cardinals, right? Those were the only two. It was only Orioles Cardinals.
Was he a national? I could have sworn Matt Wieters was.
Oh, that's right. He was a national there. I think this was Cardinals.
Okay.
I think this was Matt Wieters Cardinal. Facing Caleb Tealbar, and he ended up flying out. Yeah.
I feel like that it should be illegal. Like you get
Should be illegal.
you just working at bat that long. At some point, they just say, "All right, go ahead."
Then one more stat, pitching stats.
I guess the
or
strikeout's
pitches per
better than
at-bat stats.
it's really lame for it to end in a flyout. Like that is a really depressing way for.
How
like,
dare
yeah,
they.
right.
17 pitches tied for the second most in a plate appearance, ending in a strikeout, at least in the regular season. Bartolo Colon facing Ricky Gutierrez in 1998, 20 pitch at bat.
I don't remember who Ricky Gutierrez is.
20 pitch at bat, ending in a strikeout.
Okay.
Bartolo Colon winning that battle, and then also there was also a 17 pitch strikeout. Asher Wojciechowski against Tommy LaStella.
I remember Asher.
I know.
Right?
That was our Asher Wojciechowski.
Yeah.
Wojciechowski.
Was that with the Orioles?
I
don't know that he was with anybody.
2017, I guess it would have.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Right? Asher Woj.
I don't remember. I mean, obviously, why would I remember this at bat? But yeah.
He was an Oriole in 2017.
I don't know.
There we go.
Was he?
Oh no!
I thought you were looking it up. That's why I didn't bother to look
He was
it up.
Cincinnati Red.
Okay.
This was
Thank
before
you.
he got to the Orioles. Right
Jeez.
before he got to the Orioles.
Orioles legend. Though.
Yeah.
Let's say it correctly.
Paul Skeens has gone like 4 straight starts now with 5 scoreless at least 5 innings pitched, no runs, so 5 scoreless innings and 5 strikeouts.
I have a buddy who's a Pirates fan, and he was trying to do I guess the Pirates are here like September 9th through 11th, I believe it is. And so he was texting me yesterday. He's like, dude, I've been doing the math. It looks like it's going to be the Wednesday night game. And I was like, what? What are you – like that's all he sent me in the text. And I'm like, what in the world? And he was talking about he wanted me to go with him to see the Pirates play the Orioles, presuming that was going to be the night that Paul Skeens pitched. But I am not available that night. I'm going to see Heim at Merriweather Post Pavilion.
You're going to pick Heim over Skeens?
I am. So I'm rooting for the Thursday afternoon game. I have a Loyola soccer game on Thursday night, but I could do the Thursday afternoon game if it worked out that way.
All right. I guess that could work.
So I'm rooting for them to like decide they want to start.
I'm hoping it doesn't line up for you.
Oh, thank you.
Personally.
That's very nice of you. Jerk.
So got me thinking about most starts ever. 5 innings. What pitcher has the most starts of 5 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts at least? It's going at least 5 innings.
How many?
At least 5 strikeouts.
How many am I supposed to be coming up with?
The top 6 all time have had at least 70 starts of 5 innings scoreless.
Greg Maddux.
Maddux is not on this one.
Well, that is stunning.
He only had 61.
What a loser.
He's only top 10 all time. I need the top 6.
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan is number 1 all time. 102 starts of at least 5 scoreless innings and 5 strikeouts.
Cy Young.
No Cy Young. Why do we even name an award after that guy?
Right? That guy sucks. How about Steve Carlton?
Carlton's not on this one.
Roger Clemens.
Carlton had 55. Roger Clemens is in there. Number 2 all time. Ryan, then Clemens. 94 such starts for Roger Clemens.
How about this is really good. I mean, it's really good in that it's really random. How about I guess I should just start naming guys. Roy Halladay.
No, not Roy Halladay.
How about
was Halladay just
Tom Glavine?
The longevity, no Glavine either.
How about Randy Johnson?
Randy Johnson is on there.
I guess I should just be naming the strikeout guys is what I'm realizing. Like I thought that the 5 strikeout number was so low that like I could just go with
guys that threw scoreless starts.
So Burt Blyleven.
Burt Blyleven just misses tied with Greg Maddux.
Walter Johnson. I mean, how many more?
Who you've named 4?
Gotten Ryan, Clemens, Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, Shampoo.
2 left. They're both active still.
Verlander,
71.
Scherzer?
Not Scherzer. He is 3 behind Verlander. He's at 68 right now. Kershaw would be number 3 all time. Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, Kershaw. Other 2 in the top 10 you didn't get were Pedro Martinez and Zach Greinke at 62.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? All right. I don't know what that is between accomplishment and anomaly. I don't know.
I mean, those guys are all pretty good. So
They're all good, but like five strikeouts over 5 innings, is that an accomplishment?
Well, they did
or
the
is
most. So, like that's why it's
just
not.
hit the
that's why
thing.
it's not
Just
anomaly.
hit.
You want to do it over like the last 4
hit
seasons?
the
Maybe that'd be
thing.
more anomaly.
Hit the thing.
Okay, everybody, it's going to be quick today.
What was the main focus today, Coach?
Fundamentals, ball control. It's always huge.
Any early thoughts on the competition this year?
Well, look, this is the best of the best players in the world. It's going to be an amazing tournament.
Tournament?
Yeah, the BMW Championship at Caves Valley. What are you guys talking about? All they ever ask me about is football.
Here's what's coming up this weekend, totally tubular-wise. It's kind of a lean weekend for, like, big events. The tennis was very good last night. If you missed it, it was outstanding. Victoria Mboko, what a story. If actually, you know what, you should try to find this. So Victoria Mboko beats Naomi Osaka for the women's title. They play, the way the Canadian event, the National Bank Open works, is they alternate. They do the women's tournament in one city and the men's tournament in another city, and then they flip-flop. So this year, the women's tournament was in Montreal, the men's tournament was in Toronto. And so then next year, they'll just switch them, and the men's tournament will be in Montreal, the women's tournament will be in Toronto. So it just so happened to be that because it was a 3-set match, they started the first match at 6, they started the men's match at 8. So the men's match started before the women's match had ended. So Vicky Mboko, it really is one of the great sports stories of the year. She's never done anything. She's 18 years old. And she mows down top players for 10 days to win her first career title at a major event, an ATP Master Series event in Canada where she's from. It's unbelievable. And so obviously it's a huge story in Canada. It's massive. The Ben Shelton, Karen Hatchinoff final on the men's side gets underway, and there is an interruption. Nothing is happening, but their stadium starts losing their minds. And the players are just like, dude, what the F is going on? Like, one of them, I think it's Hatchinoff, is just getting ready to serve, and the place comes unglued. Like, loses it, starts freaking out. Because that's the moment the crowd gets word that Vicky Mboko has won the women's tournament.
I think I might have.
You have the video?
I think so.
All right.
Just want to make sure everything looks aesthetically pleasing here.
All right.
There's the announcement. The Canadian crowd is ecstatic because Victoria Mboko has just beaten Naomi Osaka for the women's title in Montreal. I'm not sure these two know about it. Ben Shelton doesn't understand. The 18-year-old wins the WTA 1000 event in Montreal 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 over Naomi Osaka.
You might want to save that for in between the changeover because both players are bemused of what's going on now.
I guess the Canadian player won in Montreal.
The umpire explains to Ben Shelton what had happened because Ben Shelton, as you can see, is just like, dude, what the F? What is going on? We're just trying to play tennis here, man. And the place is going crazy. And so I don't remember. I think it was Paul Anacone who was on the broadcast. It's like maybe they should have waited. They didn't make an announcement in the stadium. Everybody was just watching on their phone at the same time because these are tennis fans and they're Canadian tennis fans. So everybody was just watching on their phone, and they all see the match end at the same time, and they all just start freaking the F out. It was a really cool scene. But congratulations as well to Ben Shelton, who wins his first career ATP 1000 event as he wins in Toronto, beating Karen Hatchinoff in a third set tiebreak to win that. What?
I guess the Canadian player
won. The umpire's just like, yeah. And, like, yeah, it was very good. It was very good.
She's the second youngest player to defeat a. Hold on, I had it. Second youngest player to defeat a Grand Slam. Or to defeat four Grand Slam champions in a tournament.
Grand Slam champions in the tournament.
Yeah, since 1999.
It's an unbelievable
when
story.
Serena did it.
Like I know that people don't care about tennis the way that I do. I understand that, but like if you did, I don't know what the parallel would be for this. This is unprecedented.
I mean, apparently it was 99 Serena in the U.S. Open. Like that's the deal.
It's insane what Vicky Mboko just did to win, and maybe that's a good parallel. That was Serena at the U.S. Open, and that was her first.
99. So
yeah, I think that was her first. But I think she had won other. Vicky Mboko had never won a tournament. She had never really competed in a tournament before, and then did it in her home country.
So Serena was 17 when she?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. All right, Athletics Orioles this weekend tonight, 7:05 on Masson. JT, is it Ginn? Like Ted Ginn or
I thought it was
Ginn?
Ginn.
Is it Ginn? I don't know.
Maybe it is Ginn.
I don't know.
I'll go Ginn.
Sure. Against Tomo Sagano. Tomorrow, 7:05 on Masson. Jack Perkins, Brandon Young,
Speaking
of course.
Ted Ginn, we got the next one.
Who?
Wester.
Oh, Wester. Yeah. I hope you're right. Tomorrow is, of course, the on-field.
I love playing Madden with that when he was on the Dolphins. I would just pick the Dolphins every time
Okay.
just so I could return kicks with him. He was the best.
Who would the quarterback have
probably
been?
Chad Pennington.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, just throw it again.
Whatever.
Throw it again.
Jack Perkins, Brandon Young tomorrow night, and on Sunday, 1:35 on Masson, Luis Severino and Cade Povich. The Whip Snakes wrap the regular
Come on, bounce
season.
back, boys.
They need help too, right? They would need to beat Boston.
That sounds probably right.
I think somebody else has to lose for them to get into the playoffs.
Definitely the Woods to probably lose.
Telling me there's a chance. I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but they need a win and they need help. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus against Boston, and honestly, that's about it. There's just not a lot of big events happening this weekend.
I mean, I'm telling you that UFC card's better than last week's. So.
Sure. There's some preseason football.
That's right. That's right. What are you bearing the lead for? Yeah, we got football every day this weekend.
By the way, the NFL app sending me push notifications at 1 a.m. last night about Jalen Milroe into the game because they were airing the.
And then you switched it on.
No. You got to get a hold of yourselves, guys. All right, quickly, non-sports.
There's nothing.
Okay. At GlennClarkRadio.com.
There's a JFK.
It's 12:38. Let's
JFK
wrap.
Jr. Docu-series on CNN, if anyone's into that. The American Prince, JFK Jr.
Sure. Very good. Thanks, everybody at thanks today, to AJ Francis and Moose. Thanks to Trevor Rogers. Thanks to Anthony Nunez and to Jake Butt. We'll get all that up in the greatest hits section of the
Moose.
Well done.
Moose.
Well done. Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Monday, remember, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. on Monday. It's a 1-week experiment doing shorter shows. We're going to see how it goes, but we need to actually do it and then get a feel for it before we commit to it. So next week, 1-hour shows. We will promise they'll be better, or we'll at least try. We'll at least try to make them better. Don't forget the Bat Around with Paul and Zach Sunday night as well. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including the Maryland 5-Star, Game Day Men's Health, Live Casino and Hotel, the BMW Championship, Crown Trophy, Easy Pass, Baltimore's Classic 5 Golf Courses, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Costa Sin, Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Birds, go Whip Snakes, Dukes up.